Hey, my bad. Here we go. Welcome, 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 everyone on the streaming side of things. Appreciate y'all for coming through. And you know what? We about to just kick things off. Let's get it. Are you ready? I need to know, are you ready? Where we at though?
She asked if she could see what's in the vault, Told her I could show you my collection if you want, If you got the time, I could show you how it's done. Get you anything.
Yo, everybody on the stream, everybody in the space, run it up, run it up, run it up. Let's see them, highness, 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 highness. Let's go. Yo, what's up, yo. I want to thank everyone for coming through to the space. My name is Emoji. I'm here, I got my co-host with me, E-Boogie, Prop, X in the building. We're bringing you a little something we like to call the Comic Shop, where we chop it up and we talk comics. So appreciate y'all for coming through once again. This is a community discussion, a community weigh-in. So if anyone does want to come in and weigh on the conversation and talk about it, let's talk about it. Feel free to send up the request and let's get it. And without further ado, let me bring y'all in. Welcome to the Comic Shop. How's everybody doing? Bug?
Yo. What's good? Y'all got me? You can hear me? I'm in the car, so I just parked up, so I don't lose no service. But yeah, what's going on, y'all? How's everybody week? I hope it's good. Everybody's doing well. What's up with you? How you?
I'm good. I'm getting the hang of this whole kind of live stream. If everyone in the space too, there is a visual component with this. I pinned it to the top. You can check that out. Also too, you know what? Let me pin the comic too that we're gonna be reviewing, so you guys can check that out too if it sounds like something interesting. But yeah, we're gonna keep running with this wave, right? Like this whole kind of visual experience, and people can enjoy the comics and enjoy the discussion. But yeah, man, you see, I got a butler now, bro.
Yeah, I seen. I was asking about that, but before you do that, I just wanted to say, yeah, Prop didn't come up on stage. It was actually meant for the both of you, but I see you've come over to the dark side.
Like, what do you mean though?
I just seen that you came over to the dark side. You was feeling, you was walking, you was doing all sorts of shit after that concert, huh?
I mean,
I just noticed. That's it. It was just a small observation. Nothing too crazy. You know what I mean? You were light skinned, and now you're dark skinned. So I just welcome.
I mean, I still have to actually watch the whole thing through. I watch, clips and stuff online because it's been, everywhere. But I do want to sit down and, watch through the whole thing.
Oh, it's posted to my page. I retweeted it to my page, so you don't even got to search for it. It's there.
You have the whole thing there?
Yeah, I think it's 1 hour and 28 minutes to be exact. So you don't have to search. Don't have to look far.
Oh, wow. All right. I may check
You know?
that out. I mean, how's the resolution though? Because I want to make sure it's nice and crispy.
Trust me, you'll see Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
Definitely. You'll see him clearly. You'll see DeMar DeRozan clearly.
Or should I just? I mean, because I could just watch it on Amazon. On Amazon, right?
You could. If you want to multitask it, that's definitely an option. But I'm just, just disclaimer: you will become more dark skinned by doing that. So just, if that's not where you want to go, you know what I mean? Just don't do it. That's it. It was an event.
I heard that this concert, one of the reasons why he played a particular song so many times was because he's shooting a video.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's who has a diss concert. It's kind of crazy.
Yo, that sounds wild.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. This concert is we've never experienced this before, so.
This is unique. This is very unique. But let me say what's up to Prop. Welcome Prop to the space. How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's good?
Yo, what is Book talking about, man? Like, I don't know what he said. He had a message for me and you. I still don't know what he's talking about with the whole dark side thing. What do you know what he's talking about?
I didn't hear him when he first started going because I was coming up and then I rugged, so I didn't hear nothing. What's going on?
Okay, Book, you want to run that back? You'll probably say it better than
No,
I can.
I was just saying, like you're probably a little more dark skinned after yesterday's ordeal or the day before. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm pretty sure you've come over to the dark side too. That's all I was just getting at. It's nothing too crazy, you know.
Nah,
It was just a disc concert. It was nothing crazy. It was just I just wanted to see where you lie with that. Like,
nah, it's still I'm still Chromageddon, you know, ain't nothing changed, but I like the double down though. You know what I'm saying? I like the double down of the whole situation. I do appreciate that just for the, you know, for the culture. I appreciate it. I still don't fuck with both of them because of what they did because what they did was retarded. But you know, but for what other people like and the ignorance of what other people want to see, yeah, it show's cute.
I feel you. How do you think the video's gonna come out? Cause I'm hearing this is for a video too.
Word? Oh wow,
Yeah. That's why they say he ran back that particular song so many times because it's shooting.
Now Kendrick is getting like Drake now. His moves are Drake like. He's following the blueprint. I respect it.
I don't know if we can call it Drake like when Drake literally took the biggest L pause like of the century, bro. It's
Nah,
bad.
it wasn't the biggest L. It wasn't the biggest L of the century.
His next song came out
Nah.
with Sexy Red. Like I'm just saying, bro. Like
Yo,
exactly
but
what the man
he
said.
spun the BBL Drizzy thing though. That was a
That's
spin.
horrible.
That was a work. That was a
No,
work, bro.
no real MC actually raps on top of a BBL Drizzy song. Like no real rapper would have ever done that. DMX would not have acknowledged that. Jay-Z not doing it. Nas would not have done that. I'm just saying, like the Canadian singer.
But Drake has transcended rap.
Yeah.
It's bigger than rap at this point. It's bigger than rap.
Oh. I'll just hit you with the rose. Let's carry on.
Yo, what's good, X? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, fellas? My bad, I'm still on the train, but...
Nah, you good.
You don't get a paycheck for this. It's okay.
Oh man. But yeah, man. They you know, appreciate everyone in the space. Appreciate everyone in the audience too. You know what's dope too about this? I don't know, you know, if you guys are looking at the visual too, but I can kind of like, you know, go over to who's talking too. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm running like my own little studio. I honestly feel like a director. I feel like Scorsese doing this, because I can actually pin over, like, you know, jump over to who's talking. Actually, hold on, I'm doing it wrong. I should probably jump over to myself because I'm talking right now.
Yeah, I don't even know if we should be giving you this much power, bro. Like, you feel like you're in a command center and shit. Like you're in an NBA replay
You got a
center.
lot going on.
Yeah, it's a lot going on over there, bro.
I feel you. But yeah, the visual helps. But you know, we did get into the comics, right? We did have a interesting comic for today with the Ultimate Spider-Man number 2.
Is it interesting?
Well, I guess we'll find out. I mean,
I
interesting
didn't
can mean
do
multiple
that.
different things.
I
Interesting can
didn't
mean
wanna do
multiple
that.
different things.
Yes, because
I'm just saying.
I'm getting payback. I'm just letting y'all know.
Payback.
The big payback. You feel me? Like big, like
Nah.
big.
It ain't gonna
Like
work,
big
bro.
cereal, big
It
payback.
ain't gonna work. What?
Word? Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm real excited for this one.
Well, there you go. See, X is excited. But yeah, man. So you know, we're back into the world of Ultimate Spider-Man, and hold on, let me jump over to the visual for that. Boom, there we go. Got the visual. But off of initial, you know, impressions, without going too much into reviews and stuff like that, because obviously we'll get there when we get there. But what were you guys' thoughts?
I guess I always kick this off, so I'll go ahead. Yeah, I mean, it's cute. It's cute. I'm gonna steal that word again from Trout. That's the word I came in here wanting to use, and he said it before me. So, no beef or no biting. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of cute shit.
Okay.
I'll pass. Go ahead.
Okay. Anybody else?
I just gotta say, it complements number one very well,
Mm-hmm.
and it adds more more to the original for props, the originality of the story.
Hmm.
Gives it a little bit more of a fresher take on our boy Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? An
Hmm.
original take.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Did you? Oh, that was it.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say
Okay.
right now.
All right. Got you. Got you. Prop.
Yeah, so I ain't gonna say a lot right now because I see niggas is plotting and shit. So, but I ain't gonna say a lot. But but
Yeah.
but all I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say is that it's interesting. This was an interesting episode right here. It was
Don't
Okay.
get to
interesting.
I'm ready to
Okay.
cut out. Do it.
All right. Yeah, man. I mean, I've obviously, like, it's a follow up, so it's it's continuing a world build. It's continue to build out the story, and especially with the whole kind of like being new to this whole life, right? As Spider Man. So we're gonna delve more. I kind of like feel like it's a continuation of the origin story, right? Like a lot of stuff in here is still origin esque, right? So we'll get into that, but yeah, man, and also I want to say too, real quick, before we jump into the comic, I just want to add a few disclaimers and everything like too. First, I want to say appreciate everyone for coming into space. Once again, this is an open discussion, right? So anyone that has read this, because I do post what we're going to be reading on Mondays before, so that way to give time for anyone. So if anyone wants to read and weigh in on the conversation, uh, it's all about the community, right? Like, and we can give our own scores, but sometimes other people in the community may have different scores or may read it differently or enjoy it differently. So definitely, if you have the chance to read in advance, come up, join in. Your score will be part of the overall ranking system, so that way we can take in as far as everyone's opinion. Also, on top of that, I do want to start there. I'm trying to get in the works where we can actually also do a little bit more on the rewarding end, right? I know people that have been listening as far as even what I've been trying to do with Overcooked, but even on this end with the comic apps and stuff like that, with rewarding, people and collectors and things like that. So the more participation and the more obvious engagement that we get with the space, that only helps. I feel like in a space like this, we need to have these fandom discussions. We need to have this love of the fandom going on, and that to shine and to pull through. So everyone that shows up, appreciates you. Everyone that gives a retweet to this space, appreciates you. And the more people that we can get that show their that actually shows there's passion in this, that people actually like what they're collecting or love what they're collecting or a fan of what they're collecting and engage in that, then we can definitely start moving towards rewards on the VV side. So yeah, man, let's make this happen, bro. Like I want to build a system where fans are rewarded, even if that kind of comes from just the community building that out. But what's up, Rob?
Yeah, I got a special announcement. So, like, all of that's cool and shit, but today we're gonna have a special guest. We having a special guest, and he was supposed to be a surprise, but I
A
have to
special
give it away.
guest.
I have to give it away
Uh-huh.
because this gentleman is has has the prestige in this community. He's got the cachet, all of that,
Mm.
and he's a super undercover comic nerd that y'all didn't even know. But he's coming up to explain and participate in all of this stuff that we're doing.
What?
Our special guest tonight is gonna be millionaire, Mr. Jumpman 23, all of the nicknames, Receipt Man, Chief Geese, Chief Geese, baby, Chief Geese. He's coming through, and what y'all don't know, what y'all don't know is that this man, he reads comic books by the water to the geese, bro. He
I thought they
reads
were ducks.
comic
I thought they were ducks.
geese, bro. It's
They were
ducks
geese.
and
Oh,
geese.
It's a
oh,
hybrid. It's a hybrid.
It's yeah, Dees. I think we call him Dees. But
geese?
like,
Okay.
yeah. So what y'all don't know is that he'll get down Indian style, and then when he breaks the comic book out in the VV app, all of the geese surround him in like a circle, and then he starts reading, and then something magical happens. Like all of the geese sit down. Like you don't even really see geese are always standing, but they sit down when he break that motherfucking AR comic reader out.
Yo.
And then something else magical happens when he puts the comic book into AR. The geese can see it without looking at it through the phone. That shit is.
It just pops up. It's like an AR.
Right. It's like we can't see it. We can't see it with the naked eye, but the geese can see it.
Oh.
Facts.
That's geese vision. That's Deese vision. Deese vision.
That's why Deese vision. That's why he Chief Geese. So I just want to let y'all know he's coming up tonight. You know what I'm saying? To talk about the comic book and all of that. Give it a score, everything.
Let's get it. Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir.
Let's get it. I mean, he could come up now. He's in the space. I mean, unless he's feeding the Deese.
Well, he never said he broke bread with the geese. He just says the reason. So I was concerned about their actual their diet.
So,
Is he actually? Is this all game for him, or does he actually feed the geese at some point? But I guess that's a whole other conversation.
Okay. He's still got to work a few.
That's a bar. That's a bar. How'd you ever broke bread with the geese? I was a bar.
That's true.
Okay. I'm on my best rap on live shit. You know what I mean?
I see you watching a lot of Kendrick, bro. I see.
Nah, that was a J. Cole line. You know,
oh man. But yeah, definitely come up. O'Malley, definitely come up. Anyone, definitely come up to weigh in on this conversation, especially if you read it before. The more people that we have talking about it, it just shows that people are reading the comics, right? And the fandom is there. So, all right, let's get to it. Right? I feel like there's gonna be some mixed reviews. I don't know. Something is telling me there's gonna be some mixed reviews. But all right, so we got the cover. We'll dive into where it starts out. You can follow along with the visuals at the top. I do have pinned to the top the live stream, which has the visual component to it. So this takes place, I guess, the following month, right? Because the first comic was in January, right? So now we're in February with the next issue, which kind of reminds me almost how like Batman Year One was set up, like it was sectioned in month by month. So I wonder if that's what they're gonna do every issue, month by month. But he's having a conversation with his kids at the table, and they're talking about this mass vigilante, right? So he's already been Spider-Man, for like a month, and papers have already picked up on it. Granted, obviously Peter Parker, he's the photographer, right? But they're talking about it. His son says he thinks it's fake, it's not real, it's CGI, and the daughter, she kind of believes in it, but she thinks he's scary. And, as a dad, he kind of like tries to alleviate her fears and says, don't worry about it. Your brother's probably right. It's probably not real. And, they're having, and that's, pretty much the breakdown of the conversation. Then you see him go off and explain like what he's been doing, right, for like this past month. So and this kind of like goes into what I was saying with, this kind of being a continuation of the origin story, because in the first book, all we really got was his background, right? We got, as far as what Peter Parker is doing in this world and whether he makes a decision to be a hero or not. But now we're seeing him starting to superhero, right? And go through the whole changes and stuff like that of what it means to be a superhero, right? So he's talking about, how his body's changed, how he has to eat more, how he's noted, his strength obviously is different because he could pick up buses. But also that he has training to do. And, you even see it here, like he's crashing into, what are those things called? They keep water towers, crashing into water towers. And he noticed like the durability of his body. What do you think, like, as far as them taking this approach, right? Kind of like not jumping right into it, but, kind of letting you sit with the character for a little bit and, see his growth and development.
I don't like it one bit.
You don't? Yo, why?
Nah. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. It's cool. But I just feel like I'm being slow walked for something that I already know, and I don't like. And it's funny because this is supposed to be the book that kicked it back off again for 2024 and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
that led to the Black Panther Ultimate selling out, all of that. So this was the start of it of this line that really, kicked it off. But I don't know, bro. It just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't hit me hard. That point when he's like, I said it before. It feels like Tobey Maguire-ish, bro. It feels like this old man.
But it's an origin story. It's supposed to.
I know, but it's just I've heard it before. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, and I have a question to pose at the end because I just feel some way about it's this particular one. Black Panther, I wasn't minding as much. It's just this particular one, just because how big Spider-Man is. I just feel like, and Papa alluded to this before, you kind of don't need to do this stuff. So it just feels refreshing. Like I said, I like the element of him being old, but even like this whole learning journey, it's just like you can almost fast forward that part. It just feels very childish. Again, it just feels, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, let's get some different opinions. Prop or X? Which what do you
I
guys think?
I like that. The only thing I really like. I mean, there's some things I like, but the thing I really like about it is that they're telling us the Spider-Man story again, or whatever story you're telling, but you have a behind the scene, not a behind the scenes, but I because that's like too small of a concept. What you have is you have a global perspective of the world that little old Spider-Man is in. Even if things are happening that are not directly tied to him and his story, or like what his day-to-day actions are in this particular story under his spotlight, I like that there's something bigger in the world than Spider-Man that's happening via the Illuminati type shit. So like the retelling of all of these new things, and you have the concept of AI in it and the technology, those are cool elements. Now, can it save it from being something that's redundant? No, right? Like, so there's a cap on how high a lot of these stories can be in terms of like scoring for me. But to say the things that I like about it are those things, because I remember watching X-Men, back then, and like when you got an insight of how the humans felt about mutants, about how the government feels about mutants, it gives a bigger perspective of like the world that you're in. And so that I think is a little eye-opening and cool for the Spider-Man story, or just superhero comic stories in general, because a lot of times you'll have superheroes fighting in the streets of Manhattan, and it's like, yo, where's the National Guard? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does the regular world feel about this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I like that there's some regular world, feel to it via, the shadow government and shit like that. I think that's a cool element that's continuing with the modern books.
I feel you.
But is that like more so leaning into the ultimate invasion story rather than the Spider-Man story? I know it piggybacks off of one another, but that's what I'm saying. I actually like the ultimate invasion because of the background of there's a higher power, there's a whole agency and things of that nature. But it just changes with this slightly. But yeah, I feel that.
Okay. X, what's up, bro? What do you think so far?
So, even though this is a slow burn, it's still nothing like we've seen Spider-Man before. And I say that because when have you ever seen Spider-Man have to hide his identity from his own family, from his children?
Well, he normally doesn't even have children because he's Spider-Man as a kid.
Wow, thank you, Emoji, for pointing that out.
He hides it from everyone else, though, doesn't he? Like, he hides it from
right. But imagine, I mean, somebody like you, I would think you would relate to this book even more, because it's like you're out there, you have this new power, you're experiencing like everything for the first time. And again, with Spider-Man, it's like we're used to him discovering his abilities, and then like the montage of him picking out the suit. It's like at this point he's a grown man, so it's like a totally different approach where it's even more reckless as an adult getting these powers like this, because you don't have like the time to really understand like what you're doing. It's like as a kid you're gonna be more playful about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like you. So he's out here being doing these things, and now he's getting recognition for it, and it's affecting his family for the first time. So in that moment, he had to literally be like, "Oh shit! Like, how do I explain this to my daughter? She's scared of me,
Mhm.
but I can't tell her. I have to secure her in her world." And not, like, do I tell her it's real or do I, you know what I mean? So it's like he's posed with a new question about identity that
Mm.
we've never seen him deal with before. So
Mhm.
I think that this is a really well thought out approach. Like, I don't think you can just take the origin and say, okay, this is all the original points of Spider-Man. Let me, like, of course it is a derivative of it because he still has the same powers, but it's just the challenges are brand new. Like, the approach is brand new,
Mhm.
where it's affecting the new the new people around him that we're not used to. We're not used to him being a father, so it changes everything. And
Yeah.
I think that approach is it's much more it's harder to get people to care about it, right? So I think that's why we have this crazy divide, because you have people that are sitting here like, maybe this is kind of boring because I want Spider-Man to be wilding out and, like, you know, doing Spider-Man shit. But then you have the other side of it. It's like, oh shit, like, you kind of gotta put yourself, like, we're this age, we're at that age now. You know what I mean? We're older guys, so it's like it's a more grounded story
Mm.
about choices as a man and how you approach power. You know what I'm saying? Or I think they're gonna lead into all the questions that you're posing, about ultimate invasion and prop the world that they're building around it, because Spider-Man always has a intricate role in these big stories because he's the most grounded out of everybody. You have people from space. You have, people that, like a Captain America. He's been around since the 40s or whatever. Like, he's the most real life character in the grand scheme, where, you know, his aunt is still in Queens. You know what I mean? Like, he has real life people that he cares about
Mhm.
in these grand stories. So right now, I just feel like they're just laying the groundwork and making you care about his approach to being Spider-Man, instead of just being like, here's Spider-Man, and everybody's just like, yeah, Spider. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a
Yeah.
slow burn, but
No, I get
it
that, but
complements.
we gotta go series by series, and this is
Yeah.
a
Yeah. Not.
standalone series.
Yeah.
So for me,
Mhm.
we can't pull in the rest of that other stuff and be like, well, where they're going with it. I'd have to judge the
With what
series
it
for
is
what it
right
is
now, I
right
feel you.
now.
I feel you.
I don't know anything going forward. It is what it is right now.
I'll say this. I'll say this, and then I'll jump to prop. Right, like I think that they're doing an interesting job with even the aspect of time travel, right? And when you think about like the butterfly effect and how like something may still happen, as it's supposed to happen, but because something has changed, now you're dealing with those changes, right? And I think, we're kind of like getting a sense of that where, obviously he still becomes Spider Man, he still gets his powers, but in this reality, the changes, he gets it much later in life. And, once again, dialing back to this comic kind of like being a more gritty or grounded in reality type of comic. Um, you're seeing what that means, right? What that means as far as like with him, being older, and having powers and having so I do think that they're doing a good job in kind of like not making it too much like the original, but still kind of like having its own deviations. But Boog, I do hear you on the aspect as far as like, all right, we've seen this before, and I think that that's a nuance, right? Anytime you, because here's the thing, this is a new reality, so like it or not, they do have to retell some of this stuff, right? They can't just jump into him, like that's bad storytelling. If they just, all right, one day he gets the spider, and then literally the next comic he's the amazing Spider-Man that we know with no type of learning curve, right? Because you have to factor that in. But
But that's not that takes away from the whole originality of what this story like. And
mm,
make like I said, it's a derivative, right? So
mm-hmm,
we have to respect it as a derivative as well. But it ultimately does tap it because how am I judging this any other way but but against who the real Spider-Man is, right? And
I
like I
feel
said,
you.
I
So
like that
you're always
aspect.
going to be comparing. You're always going to be
Yeah,
comparing
I'm always
to.
gonna compare
Mm-hmm.
that to the past. I can't go forward because I don't know any more material because I'm
Yeah.
reading issue by issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know what Spider-Man is supposed to be and how his story goes. So if you feed me the same story and the only thing you really change, and like I said, I rated the first one what it was, a 9 or 8, but
Mm-hmm.
so I believe it has good stuff. I like the derivative. We can always use more Spider-Man, but at the same time, it's like, damn, we have a whole multiverse of just Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, god damn it, like
But is
run
but
another,
is
you
but
know.
is but is that a this comic problem, or is that a because an inundation of Spider-Man due to everything that we have, video
All
games,
right, so
Miles
I'll drop the
Morales,
question. All right, so I'll drop the question that I wanted to say. Basically, is like, do we actually really need
another
more
Spider-Man
stories told
origin
about
story?
Peter? Do we really need that? Does the market really need it? Now,
Mm-hmm.
yes, this is actually a good book, but for
Mm-hmm.
the little subtle changes. But at the same time, you're adding no. I don't want to say no creativity because I like the spin. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm gonna now put on the hard critics hat, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna judge it tough and be real about it, it really doesn't move me in a certain way. Besides the aspect of him being a grown man with children, because I can relate.
Okay.
Beyond
Okay.
that,
I get you. I get you. I got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me jump over to Prop because Prop just had his hand up. Prop, what's good?
You can hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, and I think all of that's good insight. I agree, obviously, with a lot of Art is saying, but the thing that comes to mind now is, who is this story for?
Mm.
Like, I think if you can put in perspective who the story is for, I think you'll have a better a better appreciation of maybe how to rate it and not be because if it was just me personally, I don't have no business even reading this story. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that interested in Spider-Man. So like if if this is written for people that like good stories and you happen to like Spider-Man a little, is that for me? Or is it for the diehard? Or is it for the new Spider-Man fans for them to do a soft reboot? Like I don't really like soft reboots
Mm-hmm.
unless there's some extreme level of artistry and storytelling. Now, is this kind of like getting into that realm a little bit? But I feel like this, as a grown up, I get like comic book people are supposed to like the charm of how goofy and young Spider-Man is,
Mm-hmm.
but but I feel like the movies kind of took it like into like adulthood a little bit with the violence and the killing and all that stuff, right? So
Mm-hmm.
so for me, I think this book is I don't think they know who this book is for. I think they're trying to please all audiences, and
Mm-hmm.
and in some way like you kind of end up really not really delivering for none, for one.
great
So I
compliment.
gotta disagree only because if you look at Spider Verse, right, the first one,
Mm-hmm.
we got a older, disheveled Peter Parker, and people loved it. He wasn't with May anymore, and his
He
relationship with
wasn't with he
Miles.
wasn't with Mary Jane either. She
Yeah,
left.
yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, he wasn't with Mary Jane anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw an older version of it that was like, damn, like this is not the witty, like happy Peter Parker. He was like fat and like, you know, wasn't confident. Like that was totally opposite. And they did that, and that writing was good because it complemented Miles because he was able to reestablish himself and pass it on to Miles. And like, and at the end of the movie, they are basically telling Miles like, no, like you're not confident enough. We're gonna go save the day. You gotta hang behind. And it still was like, nah, wait a minute. You can't alienate one person or whatever. Like every Spider-Man story is unique to theirs, right? So my point is, as soon as we saw that adaptation, more people were like, "Damn, it would be cool to see a older Peter Parker, and it would be dope if they continued a Toby." And everybody wanted to see that. Everybody wants to see that. I mean, I do, and I feel like what your guys are saying is you're basically saying, well, it's a reboot, and we like the original. So like, look how many Spider-Man books there are. There's amazing Web of Spider-Man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Superior Spider-Man. Like there's so many. Like there are so many. This is a telling of an approach that is like an older, more mature. Like the whole world that they're building with the Ultimates is supposed to be a more grounded story, a more relatable story.
Hmm.
So I just can't agree with like the older Spider-Man is not like, is like a niche thing. Like I think anybody would be dope to, would be hyped to see a different older telling of this, and it's proven because of how successful this book is.
Yeah.
You know?
X, I do agree with you, but I also see, what they're saying in the aspect of, there's very, as of right now, there are deviations, but the deviations really haven't been fully fleshed out yet. There's little deviations in the storyline, right? Like, and even with him, coming to powers and stuff like that, we did see this. We saw this with Tobey Maguire and stuff like that. Like, I think they're looking at as far as like huge deviations, like Miles as like Miles is a huge deviation, right? Because it's a whole different person, right? So I mean, we do have to kind of like see where this story pans out, because once again, I look at this as ultimately like a kind of like a butterfly effect, right? Where one small thing, you start seeing little branch offs, and then later down the line, you see how far it really goes. So because of that, I mean, this is still issue 2, but because of that, we don't know where the story is going to take us. But we are seeing little tiny like nuances or little tiny branch offs that show differences. But I wanted to to just move things a little bit, move it along a little bit. Jumping to the next scene, we have, and I do like, I gotta tell you, I do like this dynamic between Ben and J. Jonah Jameson. Like it's a relationship I never thought I would love, but I love it, right? Because it didn't exist. Like this is something that's completely new and that didn't exist in the main Spider-Man mythos. And you have J. Jonah Jameson and Ben in a steam room, and they're just talking. They're talking about as far as what stories have been circulated in the Daily Bugle. I was about to say Daily Planet, but in the Bugle, and they're talking about as far as like, well, they heard that the Kingpin was attacked by like this masked vigilante, right? But then in the news that they're running, they're not running anything about that. They're running about this, this guy dressed up, in all black and swinging around the city. And, as journalists, they look at it and say, well, one is the real news and one is the distraction. And I like this dynamic because it kind of like plays in right back to the whole Illuminati thing, but kind of like brings it surface level, because we know, like as a reader, we already know that this world is fake, right? We know that everything's orchestrated. We know that the people controlling the country are have their own agenda and stuff like that. But now we're kind of like zoning in, right, to this ground level, and they're trying to piece together the stories to to figure out what's going on. And they're already, even this early, realizing that the information fed to them by the media, because obviously they are media and in their own company, and they work for the media. They know that the information fed to them isn't where the real story is. And I want to, real quick before I go into that, I want to give a special shout out Omi Wanda Homie. I see you in the chat. He said he's loving the visuals with it. Yo, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through, man. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Keep it, kind of like bring these comics to life as we talk about it. And I feel like a lot of it is the visual storytelling with it. So thanks. I'm glad that you're loving that. But going back to you guys, what do you guys think of this so far with, as far as with the relationship between Ben, J. Jonah Jameson, and as far as this kind of like ground level mystery solving, I would say, as far as what they're trying to do?
I like the interaction. I do think that's refreshing as far as that, because like you said, that has never existed, and they actually go into details to explain this. Like every issue so far, they have a little banter, or they show their feelings for each other or something along those lines, and it keeps it actually very, very dope, because there was no relationship like that. So it's kind of dope to get that is the new spin on the book that I actually appreciate every time they do show that, because there's something I can actually grasp to actually like those characters more or care more about them as they're building the story. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, very dope.
Okay. Okay. Prop X.
Real quick, I like you said, emoji. Like this relationship is super refreshing. Is super dope. And I didn't really think about it like when I first read this book because it's like you're just reading them. You're enjoying their relationship. But after reading it this a second time, I started to kind of question a little bit like how they would react to knowing, you know, Peter is this vigilante that they're talking about because they almost question it a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, why wouldn't he give us that photo? And it's kind of like written off because it's like, oh, well, he doesn't work for us, so they kind of just like let it go. But it just makes me think like how it's gonna affect them eventually that with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is dope to kind of like see Uncle Ben, and the wisdom that he does have, or the foresight that he has, because we know him. I mean, we know him from giving Peter, his most valuable piece of advice, right? With great power comes great responsibility. But he dies before, like, everything really plays out with him as Spider-Man. So we really only see a very small portion of the wisdom that Uncle Ben had. So it's, for me, it's dope to kind of like see how this plays out, and him on top of J. Jonah Jameson. Prop, did you want to add anything before we move on to the next scene? Oh, I think he's probably away. All right, so we'll move on to the next, right? And like I said, the visuals up, for anyone who wants to follow along. So we see Peter pretty much still swinging around trying to figure out what to do with his newfound power, and he runs into his first supervillain, right? So he sees, he's wondering what to do, and he sees someone sitting over there with a Pooh Shiesty trying to rob a bank, and he pretty much walks up to him, and he's like, I think I should be stopping you, like, what you're doing is wrong. And he goes, the dude that's robbing the bank, he goes into this whole dialogue. He's like, oh, you know what, I think you're right. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Like, I this probably, is the wrong thing to do. What, you pretty much made me second guess. I don't want to do this anymore. And Peter, being new and gullible, right? He's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm glad to hear it. And then the dude, hold on, let me go to the panel real quick. He shocks him, and then you find out here that this is this world's the Shocker, the villain, the Shocker. Shocks him off the building, falls into a dumpster, and Peter learns his first lesson as a superhero. What did you guys think of that interaction?
Childish. That's what I was talking about. That childish. Like, you're a grown man, bro. Why are you still acting dumbfounded? Like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, and that's my only. That was the childish part for me. Where I was just like, see, you kind of lost me right there. Like, because I'm like, dude, you're a grown man. Like, I get it. He's still nice Pete, but it's just like, come on, bro. Like, give him. Don't make that the scene. I love the part that it was the Shocker. The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this is the Shocker. He's insulated. I get it. That's Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you go ahead and make him make the same mistake Pete would have made when he was 16,
like a kid,
bro, come on. Like, you can't repeat that same mistake. Give me a different scenario. And that's why, for me, I'm a little tough on this right now, because I'm like, you could have flexed it so well. I was with the Shocker thing. I get it. You have to pose a threat. He's the new guy.
You don't believe that he should be that gullible?
Yeah, he should. He's the rookie on his job. I get it. But at the same time, bro, when you're approaching a villain, there's no way you're that just gullible, bro. It just, I thought that was a little rushed. That wasn't a fleshed out idea, and they just gave us what we would normally expect. Like, oh yeah, Peach, this gullible guy sometimes, and he tries to look for the best in people. Like, no, it's a grown man with kids and a wife. Like, he should have been a little more calculated, at least more dialogue in that moment. When he just stops his conversation, like, oh, okay, that was easy. Like, no, bro, that wasn't it.
You don't think having a kids and a wife would make him a little bit more gullible?
Hell no. I'm a little less gullible. I got 2 daughters, bro. Like that made me a
Yo,
little
you don't be
less
believing nothing. You like,
in
nah.
the world. Like
Yeah.
nah, bro. Like I don't believe
Yo.
no nothing. I'm on protection mode.
I
You
gotta
know, and
verify everything.
yeah, everything has to be everything needs to be dot and crossed. You feel me?
Okay.
And for me, it's just like I'm not coming at who he is as at his personality, but it's more
Mhm.
so like he should have matured from that from a point of, and I get he's new on the job, but he
Mhm.
should be matured from a point of, if I'm stopping a villain, the villain should pose a threat, not this.
Okay.
I'm so gullible, he gets to shock me like just easy. I didn't like that.
Okay, I feel you. X prop.
I'm
you,
ready.
you
I'm
know-
ready.
you-
I'm ready.
You're
Nah,
ready,
nah, I'm
X?
ready.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
all right. What's up, bro?
So basically, like one thing I will say about this that I thought it was interesting, complete opposite. I laughed at it
Mhm.
because I feel like whenever you play any type of video games or like usually with Spider-Man stories, Shocker's the one that he's like Spider. He's always the easiest villain. Like I feel
Mhm.
like Spider-Man.
Exactly.
I feel like Spider-Man always like slaps him up. Like he's never really a threat. So
Low tier.
so my
Mhm.
approach with this was like I get what E is saying, but at the same time, like adults fall for scams every day. There's always something that happens. It to
Come
me,
on. Oh.
like you're like to me,
Verify this wallet. Verify this wallet, so you
You
can
know what I'm saying, bro?
get these
Like
extra
it hap-
airdrops.
come on, it happens all the time. And like again with this world, it's not like villains are just running around causing havoc.
Mhm.
It's a very low tier. Like at this point, everything is all good. Like there is no really crime like that. So I think he's kind of green. You know what I mean? Like just like anybody starting a new job, like you're like, man, should I be doing this right now? Like should I? Like, am I allowed to do that? Like, vigilante is not really a thing like that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand what E is saying, but I also feel like it just plays into like the muscle memory, like just building up a confidence of like you're a superhero. He doesn't know anything about being a superhero. He don't know anything about like the world that he's in. He's a 9 to 5 guy. Like, I'm not gonna say he's a nerd or a pushover, but like imagine you're just this regular guy and then you could whoop anybody's ass. Like there are some dudes that might just go around and start throwing bows, and then there's people that might be humble about it. And I think he's just like trying to do the humble approach, and you know he just got caught up. Like, you know what I mean?
Did you like it that he was gullible? Like I just need to direct
I thought it
you
was.
to
I
that.
just thought it was like. I just thought it didn't. It didn't seem that off to me. Like it
Yeah.
just seemed like
Yeah.
like, and he got. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Everybody gets got every now and then.
I got.
He
I
hit him
gotta.
with the okie doke.
I gotta say, like, I think the fact that he's married and has 2 kids, especially them being young kids, right? Like, maybe if they were like teenagers and stuff like that, it would be a little different. But they're still really young, right? So like, even as a parent, you kind of like are always looking to, well, how can I understand where they're coming from, right? Or how can I like, kind of empathize with what they're feeling and stuff like that. So I feel like that probably puts him in a mindset where he may be more likely to, kind of be sympathetic or gullible, so to speak, than someone that's like a kid without those responsibilities, kind of like sees things as more of like a black and white as opposed to like a gray area where like you may as a parent.
Now it sounds like an excuse, but I will say this. It was a glorified excuse, but I will say this. Something's lacking because there should have been a spider sense with that shot, right?
Maybe he didn't learn it yet. Maybe he didn't learn it.
I'm not critiquing the fact that he doesn't have it yet, but I'm pointing out that he definitely doesn't have a spider sense because
Yeah,
he should have
it
seen
didn't
that shit
trigger.
coming, right?
Yeah,
So
that is true. That is a really good
outside.
point. That is a really good point.
I will go on y'all's side and say maybe he's extra gullible in this sense because he does not have the spider sense to give him a pre-warning to actually get the hell out of there, right? Maybe if that was intact, he jumps out the way, and I like that part better. But I don't like it feels lazy to me that he gets shot in that way because I could have predicted that. Like,
Yeah.
I was going with the story of this guy might be normal, but I'm like, nah, this is too smooth. Like this,
Yeah,
it's
but
too smooth.
there's also a lot of times with Spider-Man where I feel like in the shows and in like certain media where he gets ahead of himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, maybe he was gullible, but I feel like in other cases, like he runs his mouth too much and then he gets hit. You know what I mean? Or like the kid version of him is always playing around too much, and that's sometimes his struggle. It's like, damn, like you know for one of the shows I was watching, like they didn't that's why they don't really recruit him in the Avengers, because he's not mature enough in those first instances. So I just feel like I said, bro, it's a slow burn. And Tom Holland didn't get his spider sense till like what, like
Don't
three
bring Tom
movies
into this, bro. Don't bring
three
Tom into
movies
this.
in or something like that, like.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the spider sense is like, that's a good argument, to be honest.
Yeah,
I didn't even
yo,
think
I
of
didn't
that.
even think. Yeah, I didn't think about that either. But now, because you said that, that is making me
Hmm.
like rethink kind of like this whole comic. That is a really good point. That is a
Yeah.
really good point.
But I mean, I don't doubt that
I had some tweaks up my sleeve this time.
I don't doubt that he'll get it. I just feel like it's just it's like everything you kind of he's like kind of discovering everything about himself in this
But
one.
I can understand
Mm-hmm.
y'all point more, and I can get on the side of him being gullible if we're all gonna agree maybe he doesn't have that spider sense. Because I'm saying if he doesn't have it, it's more acceptable. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to y'all's side and saying I'm tapping out, and I'll say, okay, like I get why you guys didn't take that the way I took it at first, but
Mm-hmm.
so I did consider that. But if he's just that gullible throughout the story going forward, which I think they won't do, I don't know, but I'm judging it in the moment. But that's
Yeah.
the one thing I did notice. No spider sense, so that could lead to him being a little bit more
Mm.
gullible.
I feel you. I feel you. Before going to the next scene, Prop, did you want to add in weigh into this? All right.
We probably
Nah, we good, we
We
good.
got we gotta
Okay.
go to the next scene. We
Everything on
gotta go to the
point.
next scene.
Everything on point. We good.
Oh, you good? You good? Okay, all right, bet. All right. So after that, we go to the next scene. You can see at the top, and he comes back home. This was weird to me, right? This was weird to me. So he comes back home. He crawls in right through the window. He goes into the fridge. He grabs some ice cream. He's talking to himself. He's obviously like upset about like being taken advantage of. And his daughter discovers him, right? Now remember, his daughter's scared of him, right? She sees him in the papers, and she's like, oh, like, he's a scary guy. So immediately when she sees him, because Peter only has his mouth exposed at this point, right? It's like this suit kind of like reminds me almost like it's not a symbiote, but it reminds me of, like, because it's with nanite technology, so it's, it can cover whatever parts he wants to cover. And he noticed, oh snap, like my daughter discovered me. So right before like she's about to scream, he takes the whole mask off. He runs over to her, covers her mouth, and pretty much reassures her that don't worry, it's me, it's daddy. And he explains ultimately what happened, that he got bit by a spider. She notices that he smells like trash because he got thrown in a dumpster. And then they share some ice cream. Now I was wondering, like, why would you go in the house in your Spider-Man suit and just chill there and eat ice cream?
Bruh.
That was
That's
one
what
thing.
I'm saying,
We
bro.
we can't
It's
blame this
that was-
on him being a rookie all the time. And I get it. Maybe that's purposely
But bro,
done.
that's
Maybe that
why
is
he took the
purposely
L.
done.
This was one part that I was just like, how'd you get caught like this?
And that's
That's
what
why I
I
asked the
feel like they're
question.
telling the
Who is this for? Who is this story for, bro? Because that shit was for kids, and the other shit might be for, like, young adult.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fact. That's the part.
I feel like y'all I just feel like
because you're killing my
y'all
motherfucking vibe.
y'all want
Because you're killing my motherfucking vibe with this shit.
y'all want this guy to be perfect. Like, you want him to be the top tier Spidey, and it's like, I feel like they're just showing, like, you don't, just because you get it.
It's not the
I
Just
feel like
because you
this
get
was
it all
just
at once.
irresponsible, bro. This is
Exactly,
irresponsible.
it is.
Like,
But it is. But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's always that's always been the Spider-Man like drawbacks. He's not
smart as
always
hell, mad,
on point.
forgetful,
Yeah,
not coming
bro.
to time.
This is
That
nothing
his
new.
emotional- yeah, that is who he is.
He got-
100%.
he live in a house
But
with
what we're
3
saying,
people, 2 kids and a wife. Anyone could walk in the living room at any particular time, and he's gonna chill in his Spider-Man suit and eat ice
Bro,
cream.
he don't come
And
home at
and on
4 in
top
the
of that,
morning.
and on top of that, he got a suit that literally can disappear at a wish. Like,
buddy.
like literally
Come
it
on, bro, that was
disappears
unnecessary.
instantly. So
Bro, he was just hurt by the L. He just took an L. He came home.
I get it.
He wasn't thinking. Like, that's how it is. It's like, yo, that things always happen in threes. You know what I'm saying? That's the saying. You take an L, then you take another L. Like, that's it. I just
well,
feel
the
like
L's don't stop here. We'll get to it, but the L's don't stop.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the story that they're trying to just like
Now
let us
listen,
know.
they saved themselves, X. They saved themselves because the only thing I can give you is remember they tell you that he's eating 100K calories a day, right? So maybe he's expending so much energy. This man has to run. He's just thinking about eating some food. You know what I mean? Like
he's in New York. He's in New York. He could have went to a food truck, bro. He could have got some halal. Yo, like he ain't got
with the white red sauce.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Mans can't even land, and you trying to tell me he's got to get the chicken over rice.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying?
And eat that shit while he
Yo, that's what I'm
and eat it.
telling y'all.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
This is not the top tier Spidey right now. They're building him up. He's taking L's right now. You just gotta bear with it. And but that's why I like this book. That's why I like this book.
I like that. I like the element, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the element, but my thing is like I'm gonna just say this, and you can go, bruh. If you put an adult on a bike who hasn't rode a bike at all, the concept and things should be a little bit easier than what a kid could grasp. So the fact that I get it, they keep putting him in these scenarios where he's just not thinking sometimes, and that's my only thing is like, I know Pete is clumsy. He really is clumsy, right? But my thing is like, this is also not the Pete that we know. So if you're gonna change the story and keep some things and everything like that, I'm just saying they could have did away with some of the clumsiness.
In
to
all
where
honesty,
it's like,
No, I was gonna say, in all honesty, I think it's too much like the Pete we know, which is the issue because he is older.
Exactly.
He's acting like a 14-year-old kid right now, and he's like a 30-something,
Bro,
40-something
what would
year
you
old.
do if you got infinite power instantly? Are you
Yo,
kidding me?
I wouldn't
What
show
y'all
up in my
talking about
suit
right
just
now?
chilling in my living room when I got 3 people living with me.
Bro,
Like-
I'm telling you, you always gonna
yo,
be
X,
playing,
you got
walking
the
a
Apple
line.
Watch. He has the Apple Watch on his wrist where he can tap the front screen and the suit will disappear.
Bro,
You mean to
it's
tell
been
me-
like a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all acting like this man is out here. He can't even
know why?
swing properly, bro.
You know why
He
I don't
can't
believe this?
land.
He's mastered the pressing a button and getting that suit on and off. You know how I know? Because anytime, what piece of technology do you get and you don't just be there, choo-choo, choo-choo. If I had that shit, I would just be clicking the button. I'd be sitting at home alone, looking in the mirror like, choo-choo, choo-choo.
See how fast you can make it go
Like,
go
come
on and off.
bro. Like, hell yeah, come on, bro. Like, where's the trial
Well-
run where he actually did that? It's like he did nothing, bro. He did nothing for a whole month. He
Well,
got
one
big.
thing-
Emoji said it. This has been a month since the first issue.
That is
31
true.
days
He-
is
he
enough
had it
to
for-
be able to
he
put
had it
that
for
button
30 days.
when someone walks through the door. And come on, bro.
Yo, this
I
man's
will
still
say-
working a
I will
9 to
say-
5, dog.
Yo, I will say this. I will say this, and I want to give a shout out to Acro in the chat. She said that she loved Spider-Man's daughter, his father-daughter bond with her. Cut him some slack. He has to change, but like that was one thing that I really, really do like about this, and it's something that we don't see, right? Because he doesn't have kids. So him as a father and how he kind of like reassures his kids, and especially like with his daughter, who's coincidentally named May right after his aunt. I think that interaction is beautiful, right? Like the whole thing as far as like him comforting her, having ice cream with her, and things like that. Like it showcases how good of a dad Peter.
I mean, this is also a
would
Peter
be
that
if he
had
had kids.
both Aunt May and Ben
That's true.
throughout his life, you
That's
know.
true.
So he definitely knows. Like you could, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it's a lot harder to write, and this may just be my opinion, you know what I mean? But I think it's a lot harder to write a character, where he's more grounded as a parent.
Mhm.
Like I don't have any kids, so I'm looking at it with the approach like, damn, if I did have kids or people that are reading this, imagine having that relationship where your kid knows you're a superhero. Like, that's we already look up to our dads, or
Mm.
want to have that type of figure in our life. And I feel like a lot of men, that's a make or break for a lot of men in life, that figure. So it's refreshing, and even though he's taken L's, the callbacks are refreshing, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
I
You
will,
know,
I will agree, and that is the dynamic too. Like I said, two daughters. I love the interaction. I've said that from the beginning.
Mhm.
That is something. That is something like they can actually do more of that and lean into more of him being adult, like you've been saying the whole time, X, rather than a full on. We do want the Spidey action, right? But
Mhm.
they can actually make it more of a real story and more like Prop is saying, pick a direction and send it that way hard. Now they may do that. Like I said, we haven't jumped ahead, so we're critiquing as we go. But
Mhm.
for me, I love the aspect of the children so much because we see him, like you said, it's not to me in that moment, all his clumsiness goes away, and it's more so about him
Him
being
as
a
a
father, such
person and
a
as a
perfect
dad and a
father, him
father.
as a
Yeah.
person, growth, all
Mhm.
of that, beautiful, bro. That's the journey. So we know Pete as a kid. Now we have the adult, and it just changes it. It changes that dynamic. If they run off with that more, or maybe there's a tragedy where that pushes him into being the ultimate Spider-Man.
I hope not, yo, cause I'm already
Like
like
so.
I like this little girl. I already love this little girl. Like I hope there's no additional tragedies in his life. I know Peter's life is filled with tragedies, but like you're you're already connected to these characters, which is a good sign of storytelling. But let me jump to Prop because Prop got his hand
Yes.
up. Prop, what's good? Prop,
This book is for women. You hear
what
me?
you said it's for women? Yo, you're breaking up. You're rugging.
that was a crazy time to break up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow.
I only heard like a couple words. I didn't hear the whole thing. Prop, are you there? Oh dang. Well, I think he had something to say. We only heard a snippet of what that was. Um, Prop, if you get in an area where you where your connection is better,
That was a
just
wild.
just
Yeah,
send up the
That
send
was
up
a
the
wild
hand.
Need an
declaration.
explanation of that one.
Yeah,
He
that
can't. Yeah.
was.
But I feel like there was more to that statement, right? Like I feel like
Of course,
yeah,
what
yeah,
Prop is
it was
love is
chopped
loaded.
up.
So
It was chopped up.
yeah,
All right, yeah. If your connection is better, just send a hand up. I'll see it. But all right, all right. So going to the next scene, we have oh, he jumped down, so I think he's gonna come back up. Um, we're back at the Daily Bugle, right? And you see, cause Fisk is in control now, and you
You hear me?
see oh yeah, you good? Prop, you
My
back?
bad, my bad. I got
Yeah.
rubbed. Yeah. Now I was
What's
saying,
up?
I think I figured out the audience for the book. I think it's
Mhm.
I think clearly it's women.
Mhm.
Clearly it's women.
Okay.
Um, this is
Why
this is
why you
this,
say that?
this is the woman series because I'm thinking about it, right? And don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, like if you're a girl dad, like this is cool, right? This is cool, but it's also just kind of cookie cutter, right? Like it's just
Mhm.
it's like some Jesse Pinkman shit. It's like I'm gonna do something stupid so I can get caught, so I can move the plot along, so that we have something interesting to do, right?
Okay.
It's the old writers Jesse Pinkman, banana in the tailpipe shit. To me the only people that are identifying with this heavy
Mhm.
are women. Dads can identify with it, cool, but I would say identify with it, who it resonates with. It's probably resonating a lot with women. Say, oh shit, dad is a Spider-Man as a dad. Okay, he's hot. He's hot. He just did the thing that a dad shouldn't do because he loves his daughter. That sh- that might be who that part is for, or
Mhm.
who the story is for in general. To be honest with you, so I
Okay.
don't know. I need to think about this.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
That's a wild take.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Well, let me ask Bug. You because you said you have daughters or a daughter.
Two daughters.
You have two daughters. Okay.
Two daughters.
Before we jump to this scene, right? Like that scene, his or even just overall his interaction with his daughter and stuff like that. Like being a father, right, and having two daughters. Is that something that hits for you, or you feel like
that hits every time, bro? That hits every time. And life has never been the same since then. So for me, it's that level.
Oh, you're breaking up a bit, Bug.
Explain.
Wait, Bug, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Daughters, like, since I. Oh, can you hear me? You got me.
Hold on.
You got me.
It's a little better now, but bring it back because I missed a lot of it.
I think
All right,
he's on a delay.
Can you hear me at all?
Late.
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now. Mhm.
All right, am I like on time or am I delayed? Do I need to?
No, you're good. You're perfect right now. You're good right now.
Copy. Okay, yeah. So like I said, for me, that hits every time, right? It's never gonna get old that way. And I love his patience in the way he explains, right? So for me, every interaction he's had with his kids, or more so for me, like, and it sounds crazy, right? I don't have a son, a son, right? But the interactions I get with him and his daughter fill me more. It fills me more because I can relate more to that the little girl and how precious, and you can see through his interactions. That's how he treats her, right? So for me, yeah, that doesn't get old, bro. Like I can get more of that in the story and feel like if they do it the right way, it's always gonna be great. Like I don't know if this goes into her story of her becoming, but we're not gonna go that far. But anyway,
yeah.
Because if people know the story, you know what I mean? So I'm looking at it from that aspect, like, oh, like if this plays out the same way that it's supposed to play out with the daughter and everything, like, is this it? Is this that very, like, so I'm just running all those scenarios, which I'm saying that's so dope because she's the first one to know. She's the first one, and if she adopts that whole Spider-Woman thing, like, that's even dope. So I'm going off in a tangent with it, like, in my mind with it that way, but I'm like, I'm just going up with the possibilities because we don't know, but I'm just saying in a distant future, if that's what happens, this makes the interaction even more sweet because she's the first to figure it out. She's the first to know, like, and I think that's a nice little touch for the book and the story in totality.
And I think there is like a special connection between like dads and daughters, right? So I mean, I honestly would have to disagree with you, Prop. Like, I hear what you're saying as far as like, okay, like, this is something that would be attractive towards women, right? Because it's a guy that's actually stepping up to his responsibilities of a man, as a father and stuff like that. But I think it's also like something that resonates with anyone that has children, especially if you have daughters. So I think there's both different aspects where people can relate to it. X, did you have any comment before we head up?
My brother, this is a superhero book. It's a superhero book, though. You know what I mean? Like the main audience, the main audience are young white males. So we gotta be clear.
They can have daughters. They can still have daughters.
There's a lot of older guys in the comics. You can't exclude that crowd, bro.
Yo,
you know what
I mean, I'll agree with Prop where I feel like the writing is setting it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's to be determined. But I don't think it takes away from anything. Personally, you know what I mean? Like I said, like, I'm okay with, I'm an underdog type guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, my life is not perfect, so I don't care to see a story where a guy's getting all the, he's getting everything right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's to me, it's okay for him to not be perfect right now. So I'll cap it at that.
I feel you. All right, let's jump to the next scene. I want to say appreciate everyone that's been coming through. I've been seeing more people fill up. Thank you, appreciate it. If you have read it, feel free to come up. If you're just here enjoying the show, once again, appreciate you. All right, so let's jump to the next scene. Right, we got Kingpin, which he's taken over, and anyone also too. I have a visual at the top. If you go to the live stream, you can visually see what we're looking at. But yeah, so Kingpin, he's taken over the Daily Bugle, and he's having a conversation with Captain Britain, and pretty much, you know, they're talking about the story that they're running with Spider-Man. And you know, Kingpin pretty much fills him in that, you know, he's been having like these attempts on his life, and you know, this is the story that they've been running to kind of like, I guess, distract. And the dude, like, because we already know Captain Britain, he's part of the Illuminati and everything. He's like, look, we gave you, you know, we gave you power over this area, and we gave you resources. But if you can't control this area can be taken from you. So you need to fix this. You need, you know, you need to ultimately, like, you know, figure out what's going on and fix this. And you know, so here's the tie-in, right? Here's the tie-in where you see as far as the control that the Illuminati has over even the media, right? Which I guess is an interesting parallel, right, to real life, because they're saying like control the media, you know, control the narrative, control, you know. So I mean, it's a quick, you know, two-page panel, but did you guys want to weigh in on that interaction before we go to the next one?
I just, you know, I just think it's like with this book, I definitely can find myself like forgetting that there's a grand scheme to it. So it's a cool little way to like keep us back on track. Like, you know, it's not just about our guy Peter, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those drawbacks. Yeah, those drawbacks to the other stories that we read. Yeah, that actually keeps the story super interesting. So now, if we add that theme to it, like, we know that there's a maker, we know that there's a society, we know that those things are happening. I can't lie, that makes the book so, like, those hints back to it, you almost forgot that was an element, you know, until they add those elements back into it. So it does, that is the perfect touch, because the Ultimates was fucking fantastic, bro.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, this kind of like the idea behind this is ultimately bringing this down to ground level, right? So the world that we know still exists, but now it's like, how can we bring this down to, you know, street level or ground level, and see how regular people are dealing ultimately with the world that we know exists, which I think is dope, right? It's different lenses of how to, you know, approach the story. Did anyone else have anything to add before we go to the next one? We good?
Rolling.
All right. So then we get back to Peter, right? Yo, I think Boog is not gonna like this part too. So we get back to Peter, right? He's talking to, you know, Mary Jane and the kids, texting, you know, Mary Jane and stuff like that. They send a little cute pic of like the family, you know, getting ready for bed and everything, and you know, he's out obviously doing this spider thing. So he, you know, he once again sees the Shocker, right, commit another crime. And you know, I'm
gonna stop you there. The same crime. The same crime.
The same
It?
crime.
It's the same exact
crime. The same villain doing the same crime. So he's like, all right, I got this, right? Like, I'm gonna do my superhero duty, and like, I'm gonna take this guy down, right? So he goes to attack him. You know, Shocker does like this shock wave. You know, he webs his face, hits him like, and then, you know, he tries to fight him, and then Peter, I think, finds out how strong he is because he, you know, hits him in the gut, and I think he like breaks his ribs or something like that, right? And when he does that, yo, Shocker is like, yo, wait, hold on, chill. I was just playing, right? And you know, he's like, I have, and then he hits him. He hits him with a story, right? He tells him, look, like, you know, I have a family. I have, you know, what did he say? My wife is dying. He needs the money.
Way he can pay for his wife.
Right? He needs to, you know, pay for it. And you know, you could tell Peter, right, as a husband and as, like, you know, a father, he's looking at it, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, you know, I cracked your ribs, you know, what your situation that you tells me is like, is crazy right now. I'm so sorry. And then you see Peter kind of like, while he's saying that, he's like, wait, yo, are you for real? And then that's enough time for Shocker to have his hand, because he already has his hands up and surrender, to say, like, what do you think? And then blast them off the roof that they're in. And then once again, he falls back into a dumpster. And Shocker escapes with the money. While, interestingly enough, you see the person masked as Green Goblin is watching over. What do you guys think?
Let me ask you a question. Do you want me to start, or would the defense like the?
Yo, it's whoever. Whoever wants to speak on
I'll
it.
go first.
Go ahead, please.
I know that's what you want. But look, man. look. Basically, all I gotta say is, again, it's a relatable guy. He's like, damn, he hit him OD hard. It's the first time he's hitting somebody, and he's like, oh shit, like.
Realizing his power,
like,
realizing his
like
strength.
I almost killed
cool.
this dude.
That was
cool.
know.
So in that moment, he has a sense of like, when you did something, like if you do something, and you like, damn, did I go too far? I think that's what happened. I think he might have felt like he went too far. And again, like, I feel like it's. I'm reaching. I'm really defending here, but that's gonna be my position. I know. So it's fine, right? So imagine, right? You got an extreme. You just have like your extremists. Like if you're trying to be an extreme superhero, you don't have time for any sympathy. Like justice needs to be served, and I think he's trying to find himself in that spectrum. Like I said, Spider-Man is usually known for being. Having humility, being a humble guy. So, in his heart, he wants to believe, like he wants to see the good in people, and I can relate to this 100 times over, because I can't tell you how many times I've got because I'm trying to see the best in somebody, and it's just you get that harsh reality like that. Look, there are just people out here that will do or say anything, and you.
But
just
he
don't
did
know.
realize. He realized mid-statement that the dude was trying to finesse him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's a cat and mouse game. Like I said, this is still so new. Like even this dude is like, yo, who? He's keeping more composure about experiencing Spider-Man than like Spider-Man experiencing someone actually committing crime. You know what I mean? Like it's both of them are like in the realization like, okay, this is a vigilante, and this Spider-Man is like, yo, this is a bad guy. So it's kind of like they're both trying to feel each other out, and I think it's just funny. Like it's just like I feel like you can't help but to laugh at this because it's not a normal thing. It's just kind of like. It's something. It's real sneaky to me. It's a really sneaky way to like, put, a banter in there between, a villain and because usually Spider-Man is so witty or like so, like, it's like he's unfazed by when he's fighting these guys and he's cracking jokes on them and they're getting so frustrated. Like he really knows how to get under their skin. And this is just not that Peter, you know what I mean? Like he's not that same witty guy right now. Like this is just a normal average Joe that's strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
That was great.
Yeah, I feel like Boog has a lot to weigh in on this.
I mean, like I said, I've said before, childish. How does the same guy at the same location? This has never been done in like movie history, I believe. Like this has never been done. Like they've actually outdone themselves with this one. I don't understand how he's at the same place. Okay, I didn't hit them yesterday. I'm gonna go to the same place again today, which is understandable.
Yo, where the cops at?
Yo, listen.
Where's the police?
Whole other discussion. You have a Spider-Man now, so we won't even go that far. But what I will do is say, how the hell, one, he gets shot back into the garbage can. I can get the laughable part there, X. I can get that. If when you said it, I said, let me
doing it for the lows.
Yeah, let me shift into my comedic mind and see if there was really a joke to be had there. And I I'm just not buying it, bro. Again, you can't do the same exact thing again. Have him be halfway gullible again off of a made up. This is the same guy who electrocuted you. If you were not Spider-Man, you'd be dead. If you didn't take the spider bite, you'd be dead because he literally electrocuted you, and you were good with the same approach again. It just didn't strike me as, once again, not original. It seemed like more information to show us, like, okay, he's gotten a step better. So what I'm gonna say is that they're trying to hurry up and get to a point in this story where he is that good, right? And I feel like they're kind of, if they're gonna take it slow, take it slow. You know, don't give me the same interaction 2 times. Like, oh, he got announced better. This time he asked the question, wait, is this a joke? And to me, that is the part where I'm like, yo, that's the, you know, you weren't supposed to do that interaction again in that way. Like, he falls into the same dumpster again. Like, I get it. It happens in cartoons. That
it was
weird
a gag.
thing
It was a gag.
Bro, I didn't like it because, like, again, like what Prop said, pick a direction and
if you're
take
going
it
for
there,
a more
right?
realistic, more like
Thank you.
gritty.
Don't be realistic,
I mean,
ground it, and then do something that's totally like feels like it's a
Gaggish.
fantasy land. Like,
all I
it is
will
gaggish.
say is,
I don't know.
all I could say is, people don't usually rob banks for fun. If somebody's robbing a bank,
For
it's
a reason.
because they either are desperate or it's an inside job.
So his explanation of saying, hey, wait, Spider-Man, you just cracked my rib. I shocked you yesterday off a roof into a dumpster. The normal man would be dead, right? He doesn't know how this man is fully set up. He doesn't know his abilities, right? Shocked him off a roof into a dumpster, left, right? You repeat the same thing again, bro. I get what you're trying to say, but it's not connecting. There should have been an aha moment, but quicker than the aha moment that happened where he's like, wait, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm a dad, I'm not that gullible. Just because you're a dad doesn't make you that gullible. And this is what I'm saying. They're trying to make it seem he's so caring that now he can get God in the same scenario.
Yo, Bug, you telling
in
me
less than
you
24
never
hours.
Yo, Bug, you never you telling me you never gave money to the people that with the cardboard saying I got kids to feed?
You know what? I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's a short story. It's happened to me a couple times, and I'm all for giving people money, but I'd rather buy you the item and give it to you now. I learned that when I was a kid in Brooklyn. 10 years old, I gave a lady my McDonald's because she said that's what she needed on the sign. She took it, she looked at me, cursed me out, and threw it in the trash. That was the last time I did that. I don't. So for me, there's a weird feeling I have with that. I'll give, but it has to be literally, I have to fill you out. Like, I have to feel it out and feel that in that moment. And I don't mind giving, but it has to be, it goes off of a feeling thing. But like I said, this thing is, he's not learning from his mistakes. And I feel like one day in the future, in these comic books, he's just going to become the ultimate Spider-Man. And I'm not going to like that transition because, like, bro, you were dumb just a month. You were dumb. Like, you couldn't get it. You had 1 month of training that you were supposedly going through. You didn't become you.
Oh, we lost you, Bug.
Yeah,
Bug.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's just a lot going on there, bro. Like, I'd rather them pick a different scenario. I don't know, but I did like the Green Goblin watching over him as if like, like, and X said something that was really cool too that can add to that, is that, hey, there's this element of there's not like a lot of street crime going on, right? Like with these big villains yet. So the fact that there's like a big bad watching over from a tower, like,
well, I don't even know if he's a big bad, bro. Like, because
he's
he's trying to go
he's in
after
that suit.
the
He's
kingpin. Yeah,
my
but
thing
just
is
because he's wearing a suit
it's
doesn't
Green
mean that
Goblin in a suit to me, right?
Yeah. But he's going after the villains. He's going after Fisk. So
But
in my mind, I have to kind of like look at this as a different Green Goblin. Like, maybe
You're not
this is
gonna
a
think-
version that is
Well,
good.
well, we know who this is. Right?
Yeah, we
it's
know.
Harry.
It's Harry,
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be
Yeah.
Harry. But my thing is like, we don't think that there'll ever be an interaction. There won't
Of
be no
course.
interaction. So
of course.
if they're taking bits and pieces, I have to believe there's going to be an interaction between him and Green
But
Goblin.
I think
Well-
that Harry has a deeper relationship with Peter, right? Because even in the regular timeline, they're friends, or
Yes.
they grew up as friends, I would say, right? So I see that them being like allies more believable, obviously, than Norman, because Norman was just deranged and just out of his mind and just
You think they'll
power
team
hungry.
up?
Yo, I think
So-
I think
Wow, I
in this
never even
universe, I
considered
think in
that.
this
I haven't
universe,
considered that.
So-
this Harry might be good. This Green Goblin might be good. But what's good, X?
The only thing I want to say about that is,
Mhm.
based on what we know from the first book, when
Mhm.
Harry gave his speech,
Mm.
technically, Peter has an association with the enemy right
Oh,
of this
yeah,
world.
because he works for the Bugle. That's true.
Well, no, not the Bugle. I'm saying, who gave him his power, and who are they blaming for this catastrophe?
Tony Stark.
So I feel like at this point, those are the unknowns amongst the characters. Like, you know,
Hmm.
the Green Goblin, his objective right now is to, well, the narrative. We don't know if he's part of the narrative or if
Mhm.
if he is believes the narrative. But
But
at this point,
Yeah, let me ask you this, X. Let me ask you this, right? Like, because I feel like Harry, especially in the position that he is, he may know a little bit more than the average public. And my question is, if he believes that Tony Stark is kind of like the big villain or the big bad, or that kind of like did all of this, why is he targeting Fisk, who's connected to the Illuminati? I feel like he knows something that the general public doesn't, which is why he's going after Fisk.
well, in I would say on the street level
Mm-hmm.
perspective, if the Osborns and Fists are the most powerful, and one of them just took out like his father basically,
Mm-hmm.
then I could see where that would maybe like it's like if you know what I mean, like the power struggle. So like
Yeah.
it's like a tit for tat. Like my pops was taken out, so likely this guy's got to be involved. That's a good question, and I didn't even think of it like that. But that would be my only like response. Like maybe in some way, I can't see a world where Osborn and Fisk are like together.
Yeah.
They're both big superpowers amongst New York. So
Yeah, I feel like Harry, being in the position that he has, right, being a man of wealth, he probably has more of an understanding of what's going on behind the scenes, than what's being fed to them in the media, you know. So that's why I feel like he could.
That's a great
there has to be
observation, bro.
Yeah, there has to be a reason why
Great.
he's targeting Fisk, like, cause that's so left field. You feel me? Like what does Fisk have to do with this other than his connection to the Illuminati? But yeah. I mean, after this, we only really have one more page left, which is when Peter comes home, and once again, he's still in his suit. Yo, he doesn't learn, bro.
Never learn,
he's
bro.
still
This
in
is
his
what I'm
suit.
saying, bro.
He
Come
comes
on.
home, he's still in his suit. He goes in the fridge, gets some milk. I believe I believe it's milk, which Prop said no one should be drinking milk earlier. But he closes the fridge and he sees his daughter. Pretty much, she drew a picture of his spider with a red and blue coloring to it, and pretty much saying I hope you like it. You're the best. And then he's like, even after this second failure, right, of being thrown to the dumpster, he's like, you know what? I'll give it one more day. I'll give it one more shot. And he closes out. So obviously he's probably going to draw inspiration from that picture that his daughter drew, and we'll get the classic red and blue Spider-Man. But I mean, that pretty much wraps up the comic. So I guess we can get into overall review scores and what you guys think overall of the comic. Who wants to go first?
I got you, because I wanted to say something on that ending.
Yeah, that too. The ending too.
I was doing some research and looking, and basically, the ending is actually kind of dope because it's kind of like open ended. Like, we don't know what's to come next. Obviously, we haven't read ahead, but there's a duality happening there where they said that when he says I'll give it one more day, that's a homage to like when there's a series where Mary Jane dies, right? So that was a reference to that, is what I've actually found. So I'm like, I wonder if they go that far as to
True.
that's that tragedy I alluded to, and early on, and maybe that's the thing. But then again, is he gonna leave the kids alone? So I don't know how that writing goes. If they can pull that shit off,
Mm-hmm.
chef's kiss, because that would be crazy. How do you do that? How does he manage being Pete and with now? This is all a hypothetical, right? But
Yeah.
that's what we're here for. We haven't read ahead,
Yeah.
so if they can actually pull that off in other series, like I don't want to see Mary Jane go. We said this is the best Mary Jane ever, right? As a support system, so we don't want to see her go. But like, if that turns Pete into a monster, I want to see how that works out and how his parenting changes if there is a change. So
I'm
I'm interested in that.
I'm scared of that, bro. I'm scared of that because here's the thing. Like, I know from the main storyline how tragic Peter's life is. Like a large part of what built him to be Spider-Man and is tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. And we're spending this time getting to know him, know his family, like fall in love with the family and everything like that. So it's like, yo, don't take that all away, man, please. But here's the thing: when it comes to storytelling, right? Like, the fact that you're connected to these characters, and you don't want, like, even though it is heart wrenching, if they go that route and if they make this a tragedy, that's good storytelling because you care about the characters, right? Like that. As heart wrenching as it may be, you don't want it to happen, but like that's how you tell a story, and that's how you
But
get
that's why I say
emotions.
they have to lean into that more as the relation built there because
Yeah.
they need
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit, Bug. You're breaking up.
means a lot to me. It means more. His relationships
Mm-hmm.
mean more than his him.
I lost you. We lost you again. Bug.
All right,
Nah, you good. Wait, say something again.
you got me. You got me. You got me. You got me.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
we
You're
hear
good.
you
You're
now,
good.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yo.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good. Or not. I can't hear you.
Yo, bro. While he gets that figured out,
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up?
What's up, X?
What? Who's the guest? Greg? He ain't Gregory?
That's my butler.
Oh, I thought that was a special guest. I'm like, yo, this dude not saying nothing right now. I'm like, I feel bad. Like we ain't let homie
He's
talk the whole
he's
time.
he's helping and moderating, so that way, like, bringing people up and stuff like that.
Copy. Yo, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Gregory. Um, all right? While Book figures that out, did you want to weigh in your overall review score, and also actually shout out Acro? She asked a question: what's everyone's favorite panel from the book? So if you want to tie that into your score too,
Ooh.
definitely let us know.
I definitely want my score. I want Boog and Prop to hear it, so it's
Oh, okay.
it,
All
it
right.
amps
Let's.
them up. But I
I don't
will
know.
say,
Prop is completely out of the space, so I don't know if he had to go or if he had work or something like that.
copy.
Um, but let me see if Book, can you hear us now? Book. Oh, he dropped out too. All right, so they may be dropping out for a bit. Let me hold on. Let me do this. Let me do this because I want to give some time for everyone to come back. I'm gonna run a reset real quick. Let me just switch over to OBS. Everyone that is on the stream, we're gonna do a quick little intermission. It's not gonna be long, but it's gonna be a quick little intermission. We'll put some music on for you guys, and we'll be right back, and we'll have the review scores for everyone. So sit tight, relax, and we'll be right back on the stream. We are back on the stream right now. We are live with everyone. Yo, let me say something real quick. I gotta talk real quick, man. Cause we've been talking a minute in this space about fandom and about collectors. When the collector's gonna really be here, when the fan is gonna be really here, and at the end of the day, it's like, yo, what are we right now? Are we not fans? Are we not collecting and buying stuff because we are a fan of this, right? So at the end of the day, hold on. At the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to this, we have to make the space. If it's something that we really enjoy and that we really love, we have to make the space, right? When you talk about gamers and stuff like that, they make the space, right? Because it's something that they're passionate about, it's something that they love, and it's something that they do, right? So when we have this time, right? And a lot of times we have a lot of complaining. And rightly so. Like, I understand, like, you know, people got different complaints and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, if you're here for a reason, let that reason be known. Speak on what you're passionate about. Speak of where your fandom is. Speak of what you love and why you love that. And that's one of the reasons why, like, you know, I want to do this space, because I feel like there is a lot of love for what's being put out, for the stories that's being put out, for, you know, the IP that's being put out because you connect with it, right? I feel like that's real, right? I don't feel like it's filled with a bunch of people that just don't care, right? So, yo, all I'm gonna say is this, man. Real recognize real at the end of the day, and if you actually do, you know, have a passion for this stuff, for this fandom, for this IP, if the stories resonate with you, if it means something to you, speak on that and let that be known, because at the end of the day, all the other stuff, like, it falls by the wayside, right? And that's one of the biggest reasons why we want to do this space, is because we want real fans here to speak on it. We want real people that actually, like, you know, love this IP and love these stories told and resonate with them, and it means something to them to speak on it. I feel like Web3, you know, is the next evolution of doing that, of empowering the fans and people that love, you know, what they're into. So, yeah, man.
Well said, bro. Well said.
Once again, man, appreciate everyone that's in here, everyone that comes through. Definitely spread the word. This is where the fans are. This is where the fandom is. And as we continue to grow that, man, like, I want to I want to specifically, you know, find ways that we can show appreciation for the fans. You know, and if they're not here, then, you know, maybe I have to try and, you know, find where they are. But I feel like this VV community and the VV fam has a lot of fans here. So, yeah, man. But with that said,
yeah, scores are two.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm messing with you. I was waiting to say that for a minute, but yeah, great speech, for real. Yeah, bro, and that's why we don't talk too much specifically about the digital side of it, because honestly, if we can get the physical guys in here to have regular conversations, it's open discussion for everybody. So ultimately, if we can just keep growing it, but there's over 125 people over at the visual side, so we're not going too bad. And,
Let's go.
Yeah, so we're doing something fairly okay. So we'll keep it rolling, and y'all participation. We love y'all showing up, whether y'all get comfortable, come up, whatever the case may be. But with this book, I'm gonna bring it back to that. With this book, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6 My reason why is because there was a lot of
Well, let me roll through. Hold on, real quick. Let me
yes,
roll
yes.
through the numbers real quick, so everyone knows what it is, especially if it's their first time, right? Because I know our scoring system is a little different. So before you go into that, let me just roll through. So like with the scoring system, we have it structured so the numbers are a little bit more spread out, right? So because I find that like a lot of times with the grading system that we have, even like with schools and stuff like that, it really only allows like three numbers to be considered good. So that doesn't really give much range. So what we did is ultimately we start at five. Five is mid, right? It means you don't love it, you don't hate it. It's just it is what it is, right? So five is mid. Working your way up, six is above average. Seven is all right. We rock with it. Eight is a step above that. We rock with it heavy. Nine is lit, and 10 is the creme de la creme. It is immaculate. It is a gift from the heavens. It fell out the sky. Chef's kiss. Mwah. It is perfect in every way. Going down from 5, 4 is not really feeling it. 3 is kind of ass, right? Not completely, maybe just the cheek, but it's it's there a little bit. 2 is basura, it is trash, and one is warning. Warning: do not read this book. This will cause damage to you. PTSD. Stay away.
Bubble guts, all that.
It is there is danger signs on the label of this book. So back to Boog. I know you said you gave it a 6, but did you want to break down why? And also, I think Acro had a dope in the chat. Shout out the chat. Shout out Acro. She asked as far as what our favorite
sure.
our favorite panels were. So
Hey Moji, am I up here a speaker? Because Boogie doesn't show for me a speaker.
yeah, you're here, Mahalo. We're gonna get to you too with the
I can see you, Mahalo. I can see you, Mahalo. You're good. I can see you.
But Boog, did you want to go first? And then actually we'll jump to Mahalo after you. And I see Quinn came up too. So what's up, Quinn? But Boog, what's up? Boog?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll take it away.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it away. Yeah. So for me, it's a 6.
Okay. So break that down. Why you give it that, and then also if you do have a favorite panel in the book, I'll pull that up. Oh wait, did we lose him? I think we did. All right. Let's while we wait for him to come back, Mahalo, did you want to go?
Yeah, I wanted to weigh in a little bit. I don't know if you saw my comment earlier with Prop talking about like the demographics don't add up to what Spider-Man should be and blah blah blah. So first of all, this actually fits the demographic as to what a Spider-Man should be to an adult audience in the 30 to 40s range. Like I think that's who they are targeting, adults with kids and all that. And so to me, like it's telling to me a great perspective as to how life would be if he gets these powers at this age.
Yo, drop a bomb for him, Emoji. Drop a bomb. Come on now.
Let's get it.
Go ahead, Mahalo. You speaking that shit right now. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's a continuation of what they built up with the first issue. I'm really loving it. I don't think it should. I came up here to persuade Boogie to maybe raise that stake because a 6 doesn't.
Go ahead. Let me see it. Go ahead.
Well,
go
Mahalo,
ahead.
if you read the book, you could weigh in. If you read the book, you could weigh in. So you could put your own score in there.
Yeah, of course. I'm 4 issues in right now, so.
But I want to be convinced. Mahalo, I'm listening, man. I want to be convinced as well. I want to give this high. I really do. Go ahead.
I think you're letting Prop persuade you on that because you're hitting all the points there, Boogie. Because you know who May is supposed to be in other story worlds. So to me, that gives me excitement as to like seeing her know that he's who he is right off the bat. Not even Mary Jane knows yet. So that builds a lot of trust and a lot of that girl dad love that I don't even have kids, and to me like that resonates with me because of like how he's treating his daughter, how he's trusting her, even though in a space prior when we discussed this book people were saying, "Oh, she's gonna ruin his identity. She's gonna throw him under the bus." But hey, you know, I think she'll be loyal to Daddy. I think she'll definitely keep the secret and do as best as she can to help him out, inspire him. Like she freaking inspired him to have the red and blue, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That to me right there is one of the bombs.
Yeah.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Am I clear? Am I clear?
You good?
Am I
You
clear?
good? You good, Bug? You
All
good?
right. Mahalo. I said a strong 6, and baby, I'm going 7. You got a 7. And I'm going 7. I cannot do 8 though. I will not do 8 because I think the first issue was better, and I think I gave the first issue a 9 or.
So that you rock with it. You rock with it.
I do rock with it, bro. The dad aspect, Mahalo did bring to remembrance the whole thing in which I said about his daughter, but in that storyline. So if that's why I threw it out there, Mahalo. I'm glad you brought it back to me because to me that is one of the single greatest elements of the book is that it gives a little nod to there. Like she's low key starting her superhero journey right there by just holding that secret down and being the one to be able to hold that in. Because sooner or later she will most likely have to do that herself. So I'm with you, man. I'm gonna give it a strong.
Yo,
7.
Mahalo, to bring it full circle, right? To bring it full circle, how did you feel about the Shocker interactions, the first and the second Shocker interactions?
Why you gotta bring it to that? Why you gotta bring it back to that?
Cause I mean, the people want we
Out of curiosity.
we gotta
Just
hear
out of curiosity.
you know.
I want to
the
hear
other
it too, but you put me on the spot now. Like I want because I feel like Mahalo's gonna say he loved it. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Mahalo. Let me hear this, man. Go ahead.
Skip me for now.
Oh, yo, he dodged it.
Yeah.
Well, we got Quinn on stage. I want to give a shout out. What's up, Quinn? How you
Word.
doing, man? What's good, bro? What's up?
Hey, what's up? So you're talking about a comic that I know a lot about.
Okay.
I read this one actually pretty close to release.
Hey, did your change?
So what?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I read this one. I read this one actually pretty close to release.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a flash to the past for me. This series, for those who don't know, is more or less set. I won't say in real time because it's obviously a Marvel alternate universe, but each issue is set in the month that it releases. So this one was released in February and it's set in February. I love that they are basically trying to balance the fact that it's Peter learning how to be Spider-Man, but he is also, middle-aged dad. Middle-aged is probably too strong, but like he's a dad. He's a family man. He's a full-grown adult in his 30s, I think. That we see with his daughter, like she sort of stumbles upon him, and he reveals, "Oh yeah, I'm actually the guy. I'm Spider." Because he doesn't want her to be scared of this like weird, masked guy in her house, or apartment. I really liked the interplay there. I loved the development of the Green Goblin and the little touches with Kingpin and the Makers Council, the appearance of the evil Captain Britain, who's actually a Frank. Those who don't know, the guy with the eye cut out, that's the evil Captain Britain of this universe, who's actually French. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff. It's funny, this series, as you go on, no spoilers, but just as you go on, people will have complained is a little, slow or decompressed. But I think these first 2 issues really do a lot well in terms of setting up the universe and providing quality storytelling and being, if not strictly speaking, one-shots, telling like semi-complete stories initially that I appreciate. So yeah, a lot of this works for me. If I was going to give it a number grade, I'd probably give it like a 7 or an 8. But yeah, solid issue.
Well, pin us down to a number. So
we need a number, 7 or 8.
We're gonna put your in there. So 7
man,
is.
You gotta pin me down.
Yeah,
pin me down
7
like
is
the
I rock with it. 7 is I rock with it, and 8 is I rock with it heavy. So how would you describe like your feelings?
I'll give it an 8. I'll be generous. I'm usually a tough grader. I'll be generous with an 8.
Okay, all right. So you got an
But
8
why
in
are you
there.
being generous just because it's Spider-Man? And this is what I feel like. I love Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, but
Uh-huh.
it's just I want to be tough on this because I seen how y'all did my one shot last week. So now I just want I'm being tough now because are we just giving him points because this is Pete? And I feel like
So
I
I,
just want to hear it said.
no,
I
no,
just
I'll explain it. I can explain it for you, right? And I didn't really give it. I hadn't even heard about Doom #1, so I didn't really have a strong opinion. I can explain this one really simple, right? I actually think the first few issues of this series, so guys are on issue #2. There's 6 that are out, but I think maybe only 2 or 3 that are on Vive. Um, I think there are later issues of this series that go a little bit higher and a little bit lower. Like this most recent issue, #6, that came out this month, that came out like this week. I didn't love it as much, but this issue and the first 2, I would say, do set the stage in a really good way. So I have to give props to Hickman. I have to give props to the artist. I'm gonna mispronounce his name, but I think it's Machado. Like these first 2 issues, I rock with them hard. So I'll give it an 8.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
like that
And
explanation. Okay.
and I do, like I said, I am kind of like getting the feel for this whole kind of like visual vibe and stuff like that. So when people come up and talk, I do showcase their handle over on all socials, on Twitch, on YouTube, and on the X live stream. So Quinn, appreciate you definitely for weighing in. I did shoot you a follow.
And quick, Acrolite did have that question, remember, about what was your favorite panel. So
Oh yeah, yeah. Shout out Acro. Yeah, she asked that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to forget her out there. But my favorite one is, I don't know the page right now because I'm driving, but it's basically the one where he has the black suit on and the water is like cascading over him. Is that the
Oh, when he runs into the water tower. Okay,
yeah,
right
I
here,
just
right
like
here,
how
right here.
that visually looked. It looked pretty dope.
Yeah. I feel you. Quinn, did you have a favorite panel from here that stands out to you, or anything that stands?
Panel or page?
Ooh, either or, it's fine. I could pull that up. Panel or page.
I'll go with the last page. Last page
with the spider.
Specifically, the see exactly. You know the vibes. The section where he sees the symbol that he got from his daughter. Again, like no spoilers, but I'll just say it would not surprise anyone, perhaps, based on how this issue has gone, to find out that his family has a big role in him becoming Spider-Man and his journey as that character, and I appreciate that part of it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right. And I see, real quick, I see Acro did put a score in, but you, in order to score, you do have to come up and weigh in. Like, we have to hear you, because I have to know that you read the comic, right? Like, because if that's the case, anyone could just come in and just like flood the comment section with scores. So Acro, if you did read it and you want to come up and talk about it, definitely just send the request. But I do appreciate you in the comments. Did Mahalo? Did you give a score or?
Not yet, but I'll give it
Okay.
an 8. I do like the story. I like how it's progressing. Jonathan Hickman is doing a great take on it. Got to remember, this is Hickman, so Hickman is a slow burn. It all circles back eventually. So I'm giving it an 8.
Okay. And did you have a special panel that you liked or anything that as far as that you wanted to highlight that kind of like stood out to you why you gave that an 8?
Sorry, I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta head out. All right. Don't worry about it. Let's go to Prop. Prop is back. Prop, what's good, bro?
Yo, what's good? Did y'all read my score or not?
Read what?
I seen it. We concur.
All right,
I didn't see it.
What happened was there was like, how was that shit? Oh yeah, mistakes were made in the phone that I control, type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I got hacked. You feel me? It's like Apple. It's not really like, it's not safe like that. So I got hacked. So I'm giving this one a 5. I'm giving this one a 5.
Wait, that's different from what you text.
Yeah, because I got hacked.
What does that have to do with the story? Yo, what does that have to do with the story?
It was a computer nigga. He hacked my phone, bro. I'm out here playing ball, and somebody hacked my phone. Like I got black box. Like it was crazy. I had Apple Pay something for water, and somebody black boxed my shit. But anyway, I give it a 5 because the artwork was lackluster.
It doesn't resonate with the audience.
The artwork was lackluster. Like, and I like drama. I wanted to go with something higher because I like drama. I don't like the soft reboot with the drama because it's too obvious. It's cookie cutter. There's like a couple of like. Normally, I'm kind of oblivious to the holes in the plot and certain actions, but it was kind of painfully obvious. It's like it wasn't a lot of creativity, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a comic book being a 5. That's just the installation into the story.
It's like it is what it is.
There's nothing wrong with it being mid.
That's true. That's true. I feel you.
Yeah. But I did like the repetition. Like the only reason why it might not be worse is because of that repetition of him actually going like him actually going back home. Like he didn't even try to fight the shocker. He went back home and then went back and caught the shocker again. And it had a little skibbity pat, like a little thing.
A little tussle.
It wasn't, yeah. It was like a little shuffle, like kind of clever exchange that they had. But it wasn't that great, but it was a good exchange. So I feel like because of that, and he went back home and ate the ice cream. Like I think the repetition of that was actually charming. And it was like some kick-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what came to mind when I was reading this. It was like some kick-ass shit. And for y'all who don't know, Kick-Ass is the superhero movie that was like kind of realistic, which is like actually one of my top 5 superhero movies of all time.
I like Kick-Ass.
Dope movie, yeah.
The top 5 for me, all time. So like because of that,
Damn,
I
all
think it was
time
mid.
is crazy. All time is crazy, but I give it
all time is not a lot, bro.
All
There's not a lot out there to pick from.
It's unique. It's unique.
Yeah.
It is unique. So I can see that. All right. So
man, we got Superman in all them old movies. You got to throw in. But Kick-Ass is dope. I'll give that to him.
all right. So we got Prop with a 5. We got Mahalo with an 8. We got Boog with a 7. We got Quinn with an 8. Oh, Quinn has his hand up again. Let me go to Quinn, and then we're gonna go to X for his score. Quinn, what's good?
Hey, and I wasn't trying to interrupt you, Chroma. I was trying to make a joke, like, I did not have sex with that woman. I did not rate that comic.
Nah, you good, Quinn. You good. It's okay. Funny. I got you.
I will second the guy. Like top 5 is a little whack, but it's fine. Everybody's not allowed to have their opinion. I will also say, like, another thing I really liked about this comic is that, again, the whole like trying to tell a story thing, like it's tough when you're trying to tell an ongoing, but you're also trying to tell a story that's going to hold somebody over for a month. And I would say that the only thing that really held it back was that we didn't get like proper resolution on the shocker thing. I mean, Usora did. He's just like basically he failed. It's stopping the guy, but I would have liked Parker to get a win to start out. But other than that, I still gotta say, like, it really does, just going back to it because I came in here for this room, it really does hold up pretty well. And I think people stick with this series, they're gonna see like not every issue is this good, but there are some issues that are.
I feel you. Appreciate that. All right, so we're left with X and then myself. X, did you wanna go next as far as your thoughts and score?
Yes, sir. So I'm keeping the same energy. I gave number 1 a 10. I'm gonna give this one a 9.
Okay.
That's nasty, bro.
I give it a 9. I give it a 9 because I think everything about this
15?
book.
That don't count.
Like,
We're not
a lot-
reviewing that.
A lot of what Quinn is saying, it's like, look, everything has its day in these books. A lot of callbacks are great. If they don't just kind of leave it off like, they're not trying to tell the story like this is just like a Spider-Man that's taking L's, all over the place. Like, I think everybody's gonna be in for a ride. I'm excited to read on.
So you say it's
cool.
lit. You say it's lit.
Yeah, it's super lit.
It sounds like he's speaking from a future perspective. I want what you feel
light
with
skin
this
don't
book.
connect right now. Light skin don't connect
Yeah.
right now. I feel darker. I feel darker today. You're right, Boogie.
I told you it was a little. I told you it was about 98 in New York, man. I'm telling you that you got a little scorched today, bro. I mean, it's all right.
I feel you. Oh, actually, I forgot to ask this. Well, actually, I can ask both X and Prop. Do you guys have any panels that you like any signature panels that stood out to you? I know Prop wasn't feeling the artwork at all, but was there anything that you liked?
Probably because like, and this might be a compliment to the actual book, but you know what? I think I'm gonna change my mind. Like I was gonna say, you know, when the shocker hit him for the fake handshake, he caught him with a Ric Flair low blow type shit. Like that was cool, but I think actually the panel before that, where and this is actually like whoever creative directed the artwork on this actually really understands cinema, because the way that they positioned the camera, it was like it wasn't over the shoulder, it was like a lower point of view. It's like an awkward point of view. I'm not watching your YouTube, but if you're looking at
you talking about the handshake? Right,
exactly. Right before they're about to shake hands, I believe they kind of have their hands out, and the angle, the perspective is like low and looking up, kind of from what I remember.
Yeah, it is.
And you kind of see, you know, it's just kind of like a void of a moment, and you know something is going to happen that's not supposed to happen because you have an unconventional camera angle or viewpoint. So I thought the setup for the hit was there. It's like, because they gave you a hint that it could happen, it's like a 30% chance that it could happen. It actually makes it better, rather than just a complete shock that he hit him. And I think that's a testament to the angle of which they set that up. So I think that's actually my favorite panel, because there's actually some setup there where it actually makes the reader's spidey sense go off that something is strange what's about to happen, that they're actually shaking hands.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that. I like that breakdown. X, do you have a panel that?
Yeah, I would say when he hit him for the first time, the gut punch, because the gut punch
so right
is
after.
like.
You're talking about when Spider-Man hit him. Hold on.
Yeah. That's like a pop culture, like, translates all over Dragon Ball Z or like any type of superhero. When you hit the gut check, it's an underrated, move, and it's always effective. So I would say that was my favorite.
Okay.
Kind of just catches like, oh.
I feel you. Hold on. Let me go back over and give. I just realized I don't have any co-hosts other than Gregory. Hold on. I'll give Bug. I'll give you the co-host. Invite you up.
You definitely refer to this man as Gregory.
That's his name, Gregory. But hold on.
Okay.
I need Gregory to go do something, so he's gonna dip out for a bit. But Book, you got the co-host spot just in case anyone comes up.
No, I didn't get it. Let me check. You sent it?
I did. I can send it again. Hold on real quick. Invite to co-host. Oh wait, you know what? I might not have sent it. I'm bugging. Oh wait, no. It should be. Wait, because I don't see you anymore. As like a
no, I'm not even a regular host, bro. I'm not even like a regular host. Like, you want to try that first?
Let me hold on real quick. Can I?
Do you need a co-host?
Invite to co-host. Yeah, because Gregory's gonna leave. So if I don't have a co-host, then
all right.
I sent you another one. Did that work? Or no, you're not getting it. Let me send it to Prop too. I'll send it to everyone and see.
Hey,
yeah, just send it to one of them. Yeah.
All right, I send it to everyone. You guys got it or no? I think it's
we ain't found shit.
Nah, I didn't get nothing.
No, I think it's because of my computer. All right, it's cool. You know what?
You could always close your window. Don't end the space, but just close your window and then just come right back and see if that resets you.
It's all right. I don't want to risk it because I don't want to end the thing. I don't think anyone else is coming up anymore. Mahalo was actually. I'll make this announcement. If anyone wants to come up now, because Gregory's gonna leave, and I'm not gonna be able to bring anyone else up. So if you want to come up now, or before Mahalo finishes what he's about to say. Mahalo was good.
No, I sent you a DM for my panel.
For your panel? Wait, just tell me which one it is. I have it up
When
on the thing.
May sees him unmasking, she's just like in total shock that she's seeing him.
Okay, hold on. Let me bring up OMW. That is. Oh, okay. Yeah. That interaction between him and her. Got it. OMW, what's up? OMW?
Yo, I'm out the elevator. What's up,
Hey.
OG?
What's good, bro?
Yo.
What up? What's up, Gregory? It's nice to meet you. Prop.
He can't talk. He's working, but he says it's nice to meet you too.
It's okay. You know, what's up, Quinn? Nice to chat. RXH, what's up? Bro, I just want to pop up here real quick. I love the show. It's fire. It's absolutely fire. Keep it going. Man, Prop. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't thought about that movie until like right now. But holy crap, I think that might be a top 10 movie for sure. Top 10
Kick-Ass?
Yeah. Kick-Ass was great.
We might could squeeze that top 10, top 15, but we can't do top 5. That's mad disrespectful.
Bruh, I said 10 for my personal, but I can understand why he has it up there though, like for sure. Great movie. Yeah, hopefully I'll be on the next one for the next book.
Well, do I have you book for? Yo, OMW, if I don't have you booked for anything, yo, just pick a book. Just pick a book and we'll schedule you in. I just thought about that.
I just want to read. I just want to read with y'all, bro. That's it.
Oh, okay. So every book that we review, I post it on Mondays. And actually, I'll actually make an announcement before the show ends tonight, as far as what book we're gonna be doing. That we're gonna be doing next week. But yeah, I post it on Mondays, so anyone that reads it can join in on the conversation. So, but like I said, I will be talking about next week's books. Actually, I can say it now, right? Like I don't have to wait.
I mean, there's no rules. I mean, go ahead.
that is true. So next week is going to be interesting because we will be doing a bit of a deviation from our normal. It's going to be Ultimate Universe, but this one is very different from what we've been reading. So the next book that we're going to be reading is Ultimate X-Men #1, which is written by the legend Peach Momoko. And for our special guest for the evening, we're going to have John, who is a huge Peach Momoko fan. And maybe we may get
Let's go.
Maybe we may get a little bit of Janie in there later in the evening too. So we're gonna have some big Peach Momoko fans, and this one, I mean, the art style is different, the storytelling is different. So I think it's gonna be really, really interesting to weigh in on our reviews for this one. But so yeah, that's gonna be the review for next week. And did anyone else have anything to add before I put in my review?
Yeah, I was gonna jump in.
Is John?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Quinn. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say firstly to OM, shout out, man, welcome. You can always well, I mean, I'm already said you can always recommend stuff, get in the DMs, whatever. But I would say if you haven't read this one, I would encourage you to read it for sure. And honestly, I don't want to sound like too much of a fanboy, but if anybody's sleeping on this series more broadly, pick up one of the Spider-Man, man. Like the first 2 issues are basically on every app at this point at minimum. You can read up to the 6th if you go to your local shop or certain platforms. It is a good series. Not every issue hits it out of the park, but on the whole, it's more good than bad. And I would just encourage everybody to read it. But also, if we could, because I am a bit of a DC guy, if we could get some DC up in here, I would appreciate it. Just saying. Wouldn't mind some World's Finest or some other stuff out there, because not just Marvel. No offense.
Yeah, no. I that is a good point, and I've been thinking about that too, right? Because I'm also a big. You can't hear me?
Just wanted to say, I'm sorry. Yep, no, I see captions.
Wait, can you hear me now? Hello. Wait, can anyone hear me, or is that just
Yeah,
on my?
I hear you, bro. I hear
Okay.
you.
All right.
It's
If
just
any.
me, emoji. It's cool. It's cool. Like,
All right.
don't jump.
Just.
I just wanted to pop up here and say, nice show over here. I appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one for sure. But I do have captions on, so I know that you're trying to talk. But
Okay.
Quinn, yeah, no, I have the book. I just, I haven't dived too deep into the Ultimate series yet myself, so looking forward to it.
Feel you.
Thanks,
I feel
brother.
you. But
Don't sleep on it, man. Pick it up. Just don't crack the book. Crack the book.
Yeah, and that's
Do you know
one of
how
the
many,
reasons.
like issues this series
Yo,
plans
he
to
really
have?
can't hear me.
Or-
he can't hear me at all right now. I'm
I got you. I got you.
speaking it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, Moses.
No, I'm just
So,
enjoying.
Owen,
I'm enjoying the fact that he can't hear me
Wait,
right
can,
now. It's
can y'all
fun to
can
me.
y'all
Yeah.
hear me? Because my service went out. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
I
you
hear you,
good,
bro. I
bro.
hear you.
It's just me. I'm
All
like
right,
a
good.
ghost.
I had drop service, couldn't hear y'all. Okay, cool.
So, OM, we're up to issue 6. It's literally a monthly, and the conceit of the book is each issue is a different month in the universe. So we're up to June in universe. If you want to pick it up at like the shop or go to like some more the more quickly updated sources, we'll put it that way. But if you just going off of what's on Vivi, I don't know for sure. I think it's like up to issue 3 or 4 maybe. Oh,
No, I think
Moji
they just
correct me.
dropped 6. They dropped.
They
So
dropped
actually,
6 on.
yeah, Quinn.
Okay,
Quinn,
so it's up to 6.
yeah. Actually wanted to touch on that, right? So everyone that's checking out the live stream, or you can just click at the top of the live stream. So I'm on the VV Comics website. So for those that don't know, right, VV Comics, vv.me/comics, they actually drop the comics in real time. So when they come out, as far as like on a weekly basis, you can get them at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Digital copies of it straight from there. So I'll show you as far as with this week, right, what dropped. So we had Spider-Woman number 8, Sensational She-Hulk number 9, Black Panther Blood Hunt, Dracula Blood Hunt number 2, Doctor Strange number 16, Captain America 10, Wolverine Blood Hunt number 2, and then dialing back Spider-Man number 6, which did drop this week at your local comic book stores. It dropped also digitally at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. So just another avenue to collect, but these comics do drop in real time. And you can buy digital versions of them, and there's 2 different versions for those that may be unfamiliar. There's the standard version, which just let's use Ultimate Spider-Man as an example. The standard version, which is $4.99, which pretty much is ultimately like a digital version, like what you would have on your Comixology or your Kindle, where you can have it in your collection to read. But they do have limited edition versions, which are, as they describe, limited in edition, which are $7.98, and I'll go to it so you can see as far as what the differences are. But they do have different rarities as far as the variant covers. So for the Spider-Man 6, they have a rare, and they have a secret rare. And once they sell out, they sell out. There's 1,000 of them total. I think there was 1,000 of these, right, that came out. But typically there's like 1,000 of them total. And what you can do is, that translates over to the VV app, where you have a little bit more freedom of what you can do with them. So you can put them in AR, you can read them in AR, you can also sell them if you like. There's a secondary market for them. A lot of people collect them, for value or speculation purposes and things like that. But it just gives you a little bit more leeway of what you can do. DC also does a very similar thing. DC has a platform where they also release digital comics, which Quinn, I think that would be an interesting thing to do, because I am a big fan of DC, and it would be cool to read through some DC comics. But they have a platform with Candy Digital where you can also buy digital comics on the DC side. Quinn, did you want to add something to that? I see your hand went up.
Oh, is my hand still up? I thought I put it down.
It did for me. My thing is bugging, so it looked like that. But but if you didn't, it's fine.
I've been interested in reading the Godzilla DC crossover.
Mm-hmm. Has that dropped on Candy Digital, or is that just that's a physical one?
I only know about the physical one.
Okay.
I've never even heard of the Candy Digital thing until just now.
Okay, yeah, Candy does have a spot for digital comics. The only thing I'll say, and if anyone is in Candy, I would actually love to kind of like hear more. The reader isn't as fluid as for me as the VV reader is. The VV reader is really really good for reading comics. When I read the on the Candy side, it like a few pages and then it stops. It like almost breaks almost. So if anyone has a workaround or why that's happening to me, definitely let me know, because I would like that fixed. Prop, for me, your hand is up. I don't know if it's actually up in real time, so I'm just gonna ask
It's
you.
not.
It's not. Okay. All right. So
You having last week's problems, man.
no, it's
So-
because I got rid of Gregory. Gregory is a huge help, bro. Like, but I had to get rid of him so I could post his score.
You can try sending the co-hosts to me again. I don't know. I've hosted rooms before, and I might be able to help if it goes through anyway.
Sure. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, any help is appreciated. Let me see. I'll send you one.
Shout out
I
to the
think
live with 175 people in there too.
we got
Shout y'all out.
170.
Yeah, it's
Yo,
jumping
let's
in there.
go.
Yeah, it's going crazy.
Yo, let's go. Yeah, I think probably it's not letting me send you guys the co-host because I sent you it already. You probably might have to leave and then come back and then be the co-host. But I mean, we're wrapping up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But okay, I sent it to you, Quinn. I don't know if it appeared for you. If not, then we're just gonna rock anyway. But I guess right now it's down to me, right? Final.
Yes, sir.
Pass to the
score.
Mohegans.
So just as a recap, right? We got Quinn with the score of 8. We got Bug with the score of 7. We got Mahalo with a score of 8. We got Prop with a score of 5, and we got X with a score of 9. I think that was it. All the weigh-ins that we had for tonight. So let's jump to mine. And as we do this, let me pull up the.
While you pull that up, X,
app.
that nine has no place over here.
Yo, you don't think it's lit, bro? You don't think it's lit?
Nine, it didn't even go with the group of numbers we had there. That 9 just came out of
Yo.
nowhere. That man was living his own Spider-Man fantasy with that one. Like, he's
Yeah,
like,
I
fucking with it.
right now all I hear is the Cameron. You mad? You mad?
It's alright. Listen,
I
you
feel
did
like
my one side dirty.
I feel like having the explanations with the numbers helps me, because like if I just had to give it a number, I feel like I would struggle with that. But kind of like having a little explanation as far as like, all right, mid, above average, rock with it, like that to me helps me kind of give it a number, because I can more pinpoint how I feel by having an explanation. But before that, I do want to give a spotlight on my favorite panel or my favorite artwork of this comic, and I have it pulled up here, and I think it's the panel of Peter sitting on, I don't know if this is an angel or a gargoyle, but you see him sitting on it and he's texting Mary Jane and the family, right? That kind of stood out to me, right? Because like as a dad, you know, you're out here doing this, what you feel is like, you know, an important task, but you're also seeing kind of glimpses of what you're missing out on, right? You're missing out on the bedtime routine. You're missing out on, and Mary Jane being, once again, yo, shout out to Ride or Die Mary Jane, right? Once again, Mary Jane being a Ride or Die, you know, she's sitting here and she's, you know, texting him, letting him kind of like get a peek as far as what's going on at home, right? Because he's wondering, right? But also in the art of this, right, you have like these webs everywhere. You have the webs that's connecting the panels and going between it. Like, just artistically, this one page to me is a work of art, with the webs and with, you know, him, you know, seeing what he's missing out on, but him also coming to the realization, I have a responsibility to do. He snaps on the mask, and then you see him about to, you know, do what he's about to do. Granted, he's about to get thrown off a building again, but we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet at this panel, and we just look at it for what it is, and to me, I like this. I like this art. I think it's dope. But going back to the story, right? Like I hear what everyone's saying, right? This story has kind of like been worked before as far as him, this coming of age story. We are familiar with it. There are, minor differences, but we are familiar with it. So I get you what you're saying with Book. But I do feel that there are certain things about it that is like, because of the fact that he's older, I'm in the back of my mind like, yo, what are you doing? Right? Like why are you walking through your house with your Spider-Man suit? Like, you didn't do this when you were 14 years old. He didn't walk around with Aunt May just in his Spider-Man suit, eating ice cream, just chilling. Like there's certain things about it that I'm just like, for real, right? So because of that, like, it took me out of it. It took me out of like the believability of it. But I want to say I do love his interactions. I think that that's something that they do really, really well. Like his interactions with his family, specifically with his daughter. Like my heart is there. I don't even know, I don't even really know these kids, bro. Like, this is only the first issue, but already my heart is there. And I hope that that, like, yo, don't make this tragic Peter, man. Don't make this tragic Peter, because like I'm already falling in love with these characters. This little girl has my heart. But that is signs of good storytelling, right? That is signs of building up a universe, of building up a world that you care about. So for me, what I would say as far as like how I feel about this, there are things that took me out. There are things that's kind of like, I don't really know about that. But there are things that also hit my heartstrings and makes me connect with these characters. So for me, I would say I rock with it. And for me, what that means is that I am giving it a 7 for myself. So hold on real quick. So with that as a 7, we'll add all the scores up. So hold on real quick. Let me pull up my calculator real quick. All right. So we have Quinn with an 8. Boog with the 7. Mahalo with an 8. Prop with the 5. X with the 9. Myself with the 7, bringing it to 44, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different votes. Brings it to, are you ready? Brings it to a 7.3, which means we rock with it. That is the score. That is our review score for this comic. Let me throw up the little 7 that I got over here. Here we go. We're gonna add that. Post it. Where is it? There we go. This gets a 7. Not a bad score. Right? Rock with it. Like that's the score that I gave it, right? So I feel like it's applicable. Did anyone have anything to add?
It's cool.
Say it again. Oh, good.
It's cool. Go ahead, Quinn.
I was gonna say it again. Please don't sleep on this series, man. Pick it up, especially because, like Emoji said, every issue is out. Pick it up, man. Don't sleep on it.
Definitely.
I agree. I agree. I haven't read ahead, but it has to be something really good. And then, like I said, we already know that the reviews for the book are great. So, like I said, overall, I think we gave 8 or 9 last time for the first issue. We got a 7 for this now. I think we're doing fine, and I think this is a solid book for not being an original story. There's nothing more we could really ask for. So I hear where Quinn's coming from, where X is coming from.
Yeah, yeah, and also too, Quinn, because I don't know if you were here for the prior, but we did, because I do want to go through, get the whole context of this whole universe, right? So we actually started with Ultimate Invasion 1, and we've been, going through them in sequential order as far as how they've been releasing with the Ultimate storyline. So I feel that that's important, right? As far as like understanding or getting a gravity of this Ultimate story. We may deviate from here and there, especially if we have requests. Also, like I said, Quinn, if you do have a request for a comic to read, let me know, because we would love to have you as a special guest. We have been doing, for everyone in the room, we have been kind of like sticking to the VV Comics app. And mainly because it is an easier read because of the reader that they have, but also too, one of the reasons why I stick to this app is because they have that duality where people can pick it up, where they can pick up the NFT version of it or the limited edition version of it, or they can just get the standard version. And the reason why I do that is because I want it to be accessible to all, right? Like some of these comics, depending on the popularity or as far as the virality, they can shoot up in price, right? And Ultimate Spider-Man 1 is an example of that. If you wanted to get the NFT version of that, the floor price for that is, last time I checked, was in the 70s. It might be lower than that, but it's much more expensive than getting the standard edition version of it. And the key thing is I want people to be able to enjoy these stories, and I want them to be able to read it, especially if we give it a high score. So, one of the reasons why we do that is that way everyone has an avenue to read these comics. Even if the NFT version is above their price budget, they can get the standard variant at a more affordable price and kind of just dive into it. So that is the only caveat. We do kind of like keep it to the VV Comics because it's affordable for all. I do have to dive in more to the DC realm. I do collect some stuff on DC. But once again, I would want to kind of like keep that same rubric where everyone can get something that's affordable. But did you because my thing is bugging? Did you throw up your hand, Quinn?
No, I did throw my hand that time. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would recommend, and I don't think it's too out of order because technically, minor spoilers, it's set before the Ultimate Spider-Man. At least the first issue is set before the Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1. Ultimates, written by Dennis Camp, is also a great story, and he's a great writer. I mean, I will say I have not written a lot of his stuff, read a lot of his stuff, but I've just seen him like engaging on Twitter, and like anybody who knows like con creators on Twitter, some of them are pretty cringe. Like they post really weird stuff, or they just get like really aggressive. This guy is like wholesome as hell. I don't agree with like a few of the like political causes he's into, but other than that, like he's a solidly nice guy, and I just appreciate what he's been doing to talk about the series and promote the book. So Ultimates number 1 by him, forget who the artist is, apologies, is another good one. I'd be happy to review that with you guys.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll chop it up in the DMs now because I'm following you now, so we'll talk about it and we can set you up. Right now we are booked out like because I do book in advance, so we are booked out about like until August. But I'll definitely we'll talk about it and we'll pencil you in because I would love to kind of like have you recommend something and we review it together and kind of like just talk comic books. So let's do that. Let's do that and get you on the schedule so that way we can do that. Did anyone else have anything to add before we close up?
Thank you everybody that jumped in. This was another great book. Love talking to you guys. It's always mad fun. E, Prop, Emoji, Quinn, everybody have a great weekend. Looking forward to next week. Peace.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you, Ax, always for coming in and weighing in. Bug, Prop, did you guys have anything to say before we close out?
Yo, yeah. Shout out to everybody that's coming through. We got, I think, over 180 people in the live space now.
Yo, let's go.
192 actually. 192. So we got over 200 people listening to us and participating and giving us energy. So want to shout y'all out and say keep doing what y'all do, and I hope everybody stays safe and blessed. And yeah, we'll keep rolling. Appreciate y'all as always.
Definitely. Prop, did you have anything before we close out? Or he might be out. But once again, I do want to say I appreciate everyone. First off, I want to say I appreciate all my co-hosts that made this possible to run. So shout out X, shout out Prop, shout out Bug. Thank you guys for being here, having the conversation. Also, obviously reading ahead, right? Because we wouldn't be able to talk about it if you guys didn't dive into the comic anyway. But also the insight, and I wanna honestly take time to because I reached out to you guys, all of you guys, for reasons, right? And specifically because the way that you guys process information, the way that you guys dissect things, I thought it would be a dope fit as far as diving into these comics. And I genuinely like the fact that a lot of times we may be at opposing odds, or look at something differently, or kind of have a different view that may influence how we take it and view it, because I feel that that's a big part of reviewing, right? I feel like when it comes to fandom, a large part of that has to do with actually breaking it down, analyzing, and seeing what you think. I don't think what it means to be a fan is constantly loving everything or agreeing with everything that puts out, that comes out, right? I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball, but I have a lot of opinions on a lot of different things, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, but that doesn't make me any less of a fan, right? Critiquing something doesn't make you less of a fan. It's because of the passion, it's because of the love. So I really like that we can do this and break down these comics, because we have a passion and a love. And I also want to give a shout out to everyone that came on stage and weighed in. Shout out Mahalo for coming through and weighing in on the convo. And also, OMW came in, to chop it up for a bit. Shout out to the VV logo that came in here. MC, I see you. So, everyone that kind of makes this space a thing, right? It shows the passion is there. It shows the love is there. So, once again, when we do have these, feel free to come up. We like I said, we announce the comics in advance. So if you read them, definitely come in, weigh in on the conversation. Your score will be added to the score. And big shout out to everyone that's on the live, whether you're on X live stream, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, coming in and viewing it. I saw Omi-Wan the homie that came into the chat, Acro that came into the chat. So all of this makes that possible. So thank you once again. We're gonna keep rocking, because I do believe that the fandom is here. I do believe that we have people here that genuinely are fans of what's coming out, of this IP and the stories is being told, and have opinions on it. Even if it's negative opinions, have opinions on it. So once again, appreciate everyone for coming through. Appreciate everyone for making this space possible. And yeah, we're just gonna keep building, because I want to do stuff that rewards fans. And with VV's help, hopefully we can make that happen. We just got to continue to obviously have real fandom discussions in here. But I do feel that passion should be rewarded. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. And I'll close out with music unless anyone else has anything to say before we close up. Also, shout out Swampy. I see you in here. Dubes, Casey, everyone is in here. But did you guys have anything out before we close out with a song? Or we good?
We good, bro. Take us out.
We good? Then let's get it. Yo. Once again, appreciate everyone in this space. Man, take it away. Once again, like I said, if you haven't done so yet, repost the space. I know we are ending, but it may reach more fans, man. This is all recorded. The live space is recorded. So let them know this is where the fans are at. Hold on. Let me reiterate. This is where the fans are at. We running this back. I don't know. People stay in other places, and I get it. I respect it. I feel you. But like I said, once again, this is where the fans is at. Real recognize real. Where the fans at? Let's run it up. Heinies. Let's get it. Like I said, once again, appreciate everyone that came through. Real recognize real, man. Fandom recognize fandom. If you a fan, yo, appreciate you for coming through once again. My name is Emoji. I'm here with my co-host E Boogie X Prop in the building, and we bring to you something we like to call the comic shop. So once again, appreciate everyone that's been here, that's been rocking with us. Shout out to the, hold on real quick. Let me pull up the numbers real quick. Shout out to the 203 people right now on the stream, checking it out. Shout out to everybody in the space. Shout out everybody that weighed in. Big shout out to the VV Comics handle that came through. Big shout out to MC. Yo, we trying to build the fandom, yo. So at the end of the day, support is support. So, let's do that, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Once again, we do this every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Comic Shop. Next week, we got Peach Momoko, Ultimate X-Men #1 with the special guest John in the building. So feel free to come through, slide through. Appreciate y'all. Everyone, take care. Peace.